Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. You're listening to Woodward Sports, featured on the Roar, 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Boys, good morning. We've all made it to the end of the week.
Good morning. Woo! You guys have made it to the end of the week.
Yeah, Adam doesn't care, yada, yada.
Yeah,
all right, but the Pistons did take on the 76ers last night for the second time this season at LCA. They lost again, 109-98. Not the result we wanted, but we did get a little bit of a better look at Cade Cunningham. He had his first career double-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Obviously, he still didn't have the perfect game, but we did get a little bit of a better look at him. Jeff, what were your thoughts on the game last night?
Well, I thought the Pistons competed to the very end in a game they probably shouldn't have been in. It was at home, though. But the storyline of the year for the Pistons, I've been on repeat for this, is they've been getting beat on the glass, and they got beat last night. Obviously, Joel Embiid, 7-foot monster. He dominated offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding. They kept him away from getting a double-double, but that's honestly even worse. They allowed the entire team, the Sixers, to out-rebound them. And but I thought they competed. I thought Cade Cunningham, although he struggled shooting the ball like he has been, it's his only third career game, and he had a double-double last night, 19 points. He still stayed aggressive. He shot 9 for 10 from the free throw line, so that's good. That's what we wanted. And he's the first Piston since Grant Hill to record a double-double in his third career game or earlier. And he joins Grant Hill and Isaiah Thomas as the only Pistons to do so since 1980. So that's something you can hang your hat on. It's going to take, like I said, the entirety of the season. If not, you want to take about 45 to 55 games to really see what you have in Cade Cunningham. And it's the same reaction. I'm not mad they lost last night. They fought a 1-7, 1-3 at home. I mean, this is a team that I didn't think they'd start off this bad, but then again, you didn't think Cade would be held out for a chunk of the games because of the ankle injury, and he's not going to be playing back-to-backs. Last night, they upped his minutes. He played 32. It went from 19 to 29 to 32, so he's just kind of getting acclimated, being able to play a full 30-plus minutes, but you got what you saw. I mean, I thought Saddiq Bey shot the ball poorly last night, but at the same time, you're going to have nights like this. I mean, you're going to have nights where guys like Saddiq Bey, he's a streaky shooter. He's going to have nights where he's missing the three ball, but you can at least hang your hat on the fact that Cade Cunningham, although he's shooting poorly, and I've said this, 2 out of the 3 games he's played, he's had the best plus-minus in the starting lineup, other than actually the best plus-minus on the entire team, including the bench. So that's what you can take. He's +7 throughout the entirety of the game, and he shot 4 for 17. So you got to look at it like that. If he was hitting his shots, it would be a whole nother level. So I like how Cade Cunningham was aggressive last night, how he played. I'm not mad he was missing shots. I think it's something small you can take away. But would you like the Pistons to start winning some games earlier? Yes. But I think their wins come, in the middle or towards the end of the season when the chemistry starts clicking, when this team really starts gelling. Because, he wasn't there for training camp, so they don't really have the chemistry yet, So it's going to take a chunk of the season, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a similar storyline that I've been talking about all year. The Pistons need size, and that's something they're going to have to address, whether it's free agency or the draft. And that's really it. I mean, you're waiting. Killian Hayes last night at 10 points. He didn't shoot poorly. 4 for 8, 2 from 3, 2 of 3 from 3. But I just want him to be more aggressive. I mean, I've been saying that all year. I believe Killian Hayes is a floor general, but he's only going to make his teammates better if he's attacking the basket more, like 4 for 8. I want him taking at least 10 shots a game. I mean, that's kind of in his ballpark. You're a starting point guard, and you're going to get plenty of open shots with Cade handling the ball. So I thought the Pistons, they competed last night against a team that, they didn't have Tobias Harris, but they still have one of the best centers in the NBA in Joel Embiid, and it is what it is. I mean, Seth Curry.
I thought you meant Andre Drummond.
Honestly, you could throw. Well, he had 8 points, 10 rebounds last night. So
he's a bum.
He is.
He deserved to get booed. I saw people reacting on Twitter like, "Why is DeAndre Drummond or Andre Drummond getting booed?" And I'm like, "You guys just don't get it. The guy was a bona fide scrub, and really a annoying person to deal with for almost 8 years. Nobody liked him. He was useless. He would average a double-double in the regular season, and it was the most unimpactful double-double you'd ever seen in your life. It was useless. Nobody liked him. That's why he gets booed. But I agree with everything you said. I mean, I think the one thing I'm going to disagree with you on is Killian Hayes. I don't want him shooting 10 times a game. Until he gets comfortable with his jump shot, you're under 10 shots a game. Sadiq Bey only had 9 shots last night. That was concerning.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant put up 27. All right, whatever. But I saw something on Twitter as well where Jeremy Grant is basically, what's his name? Come on. Can't brain fart. It was funny, actually. It was going to be a good joke. But whatever.
No.
Whatever. Long story short, you got to get rid of Jeremy Grant. Long story short. That's it. You're 1-7 right now. Realistically, you're winning anywhere from 25 to 30 games.
Yeah.
For the whole season. You're not going to gel till January or February. Cade Cunningham last night kind of showed you what he's about. He can clean up on the glass. He can make plays off the ball when he has to. He can assist, and of course, he can score. And what have we been saying since his first game? Attack the basket.
Yep.
And last night he did. Got to the free throw line 10 times, made 9 of them. Great job. That's a complete game from Cade. The shots will fall eventually.
Right.
That's a 24, 25 a game a night. That's what it looks like. You get your points at the free throw line, and you shoot about 48 to 52% from the field. That's a really good player. So I'm excited for Cade. Well done. Well done.
My thing with Killian is he shot 2 of 3 from 3, and this is a guy. Listen, you can be efficient when you shoot the ball, but volume's always nice. The same with Sadiq Bey. Like, you could be 1 for 5 from shooting the 3, but just be more aggressive. I mean, if you're playing 40 minutes a game, I want to see Sadiq Bey taking anywhere from 12 to 15 shots. 3 for 9 is just not going to cut it. I mean, there was a couple opportunities for him to make more shots, but a young team, like I said. I mean, we'll get to the Wings in a minute. Similar fashion for them as well. They're going to have nights like this. So, listen, the Wings. I'll get to it if we can just jump right to the Wings right now. Mm-hmm. They lost last night 5-1 to the Boston Bruins. They had no Sidney Crosby, but also the Wings had no Dylan Larkin. And this again, Bertuzzi's back, obviously, but the team's going to have moments like this or games like this. I mean, they absolutely – it's been a storyline all year. The Wings before this game stood 25th overall in the NHL with a 14.3 success rate in their last 8 games, 3 for 28 in power play situations. And last night they were not able to do it as well. I mean, they were at 4 opportunities. They only got 1. Boston was able to convert 3 out of the 5 on their power play opportunities. Bergeron had 4 goals last night. So there's going to be times like this that the Wings are going to have games where you're kind of scratching your head and they're kind of getting over that hump. But it is what it is. I mean, you travel to Boston, you lose an ugly fashion. The Wings fall to 4-5-2. And you know what? It's kind of like I said about Cade Cunningham. It's a marathon, not a race. I mean, we can't be picking apart these teams every single game. There's going to be, times there's going to be a lot of highs, there's going to be a lot of lows, and I think this is, especially for the Wings. I mean, you faced a pretty good team, missing one of their best players, and they still were able to execute and take advantage of those power play situations. So, and Grice didn't play the best game, so it just comes down to really just kind of staying on track, not overreacting to a lot of these things, like the Wings being 1-7, or the Pistons being 1-7, and the Wings being 4-5-2. Even though I still think the Wings are probably the only team in Detroit that are probably the most entertaining, regardless if they lost 5-1 last night. But that's kind of what I took from it. Both these teams are in similar parts right now in the rebuild. I think the Wings are ahead of them by probably a good year. I think the Pistons need another draft to really get their team complete, in my opinion, get another center. I think the Red Wings got all the pieces they need. It's just about really putting it together, gelling it together, and hopefully over the course of the season they get better in those power play situations, and hopefully you'll have games where it goes your way. But unfortunately last night Boston Bruins were damn near perfect, and Patrice had 4 goals. I mean, what are you going to do? So you give up 4 goals to one guy, you lose in an ugly fashion, and you take it with a grain of salt. But I think both Detroit teams last night, 2 L's for Detroit, but 2 L's that you can kind of look at and take a lot from. So I thought it was a good display from both teams last night.
No, Wings, yes, I'll take away something. Pistons to an extent because of Cade Cunningham, but they need to get rid of Jeremy Grant. And I said it before the season, and I'm going to say it for the entire season up until the trade deadline. They need to make the move happen. The dude is a problem. He put up 27, Adam. I don't care. I don't. When I got to play a basketball game and Sadiq Bey only shoots 9 times, and Jeremy Grant is committing more turnovers than he really should be, considering he's the veteran on the team, I'm not interested. I'm not. Get him out. He's not an all-star. He's a good number 3 on a really good team. He's not a number 1 on a bad team. He's not. He's not a leader. He's not. Cade will be your leader. Sadiq Bey can be your leader in the future. But stop this nonsense. You get rid of him. Go get some picks. Go get some bench players. Do what you got to do. But don't tell me Jeremy Grant should be in Detroit another 3-4 months. No. Trade him. That's simple. Kennedy? I think I'm being a bit harsh, but I think it's the reality. I think you got to trade him.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think if you're on a team right now, they're 1-7. You're not going nowhere. You have a guy.
Forget the record.
No, but it does.
He doesn't play team basketball. This guy is Russell Westbrook, to just not as athletic and not as gifted. Straight up, he plays like Russell Westbrook. Me. And there's a few nights a year where he's like, "Oh wow, it worked. He won us the game. Congratulations." I'm glad they didn't trade for Russell Westbrook. Do me a favor, trade the guy that tries to play like him, please. Not worth it. Trust me, not worth it. You're rebuilding. You don't need this guy. You really don't. And if you think your roster isn't good enough to win 20 games, definitely trade him. You'll guarantee it. And then by next year, you have another young core, and you're in a rebuild, guys. This is the reality. But keep Jeremy Grant away from me, please. Like, he's just useless. I wouldn't. If I'm a championship team, if I'm a GM of a championship contending team, if Jeremy Grant hits the market, I am offering a sack of potatoes for him. That's what I think of him.
Well, yeah, we know
That's
what
how
he
little
is.
I think of him.
We know what he is. He's the third best player. I mean, even on the Denver.
Maybe.
I think he can be, but like you said,
on most
we have
teams,
our guy.
Maybe.
We have our guy, Cade Cunningham. You're not gonna. Jeremy Grant's not gonna average 25 on if your team's going to the playoffs.
I don't want him scoring. That's the thing. He's not like some gifted scorer. The dude is just on a good night. He'll get you 18 to 20 on a balanced team. I don't need him trying to put up 25, 27 a night. That's not his game. He's a wing defender on a good team. That's it. That's all he is. And if he gets you 12, 14, 16 points a night on a good team, that's a damn good trade. That's a damn good asset to have on your team. Not in Detroit. Don't need him. Don't want him. Goodbye. That's simple.
All right, everyone. Well, if you want to see the Wings back in action, they are visiting Buffalo on Saturday to wrap up their 4-game road trip. And then they're also taking on the Vegas Golden Knights, who have a new teammate on Sunday. So that will be exciting.
Speaking of that trade, I think he's getting a disc replacement, correct? Is that the surgery?
Yeah.
They're going to... I don't know if he comes back this year. I haven't read how long he's out, but Vegas is going to be like a problem for the next 5-10 years. Like a real problem. And the funny thing is, they were an expansion team years ago. They've made the conference final, 3 or 4 of their first 4 or 5 seasons?
Had success early.
It's unbelievable. So whatever they're doing out in Vegas, they're doing a hell of a job. And at least their players aren't getting DUIs. So, I mean, this was a problem. I mean, Vegas needs to accept this.
Yes.
When you put a team in Vegas, this was going to happen.
I mean,
it wasn't if it would happen. It's just when.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it happened with Henry Ruggs, and somebody lost their life. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a bad situation. But coming up next, we will recap Thursday night football for all of you. But first, our friends over at Northwestern Tech.
Yes, Northwestern Tech. If you or any of your friends are looking for a trade school, I got one for you. It's Northwestern Tech. You can start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on a Friday morning right here on the Morning Woodward Show. All right, the Colts beat the Jets last night 45-30, and fun fact, it was the 1,069th unique score in NFL history. It's never happened before, you guys.
45 to 30, right?
Congrats. Yes. So, boys, recap the game. I apologize for your Colts defense. Here we go.
Oh, that's fine. I'm playing Jeff in our league, and he has the Colts defense, so they gave him a nice donut. So I have no issues with it. I'm happy with it. It was a great game to watch.
Yeah, it was.
It really was. I'll start with Jonathan Taylor. Best running back in the NFL, hands down. There's nobody close to him. The first running back since LaDainian Tomlinson to have 6 straight games over 100 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown.
9 yards a clip.
And that was his MVP year. Jonathan Taylor's on a different level right now. Good for him. I told you I like the Colts, man. I know it's the Jets, and I know the Jets are in a rebuild, but damn it.
The record's
I
not
just
as
like
bad as they
the
are.
Colts, man. They got a good offensive line. The defense really shaky. I understand they were up big and gave up a ton of garbage yards and points, but still, the defense I'm really not that confident in. But Carson Wentz, if he plays within his means like he did last night, that's a damn good football team. That's the football team you saw last year with Phillip Rivers, basically. Same exact concept. So I like the Colts. Good for them. Pittman had a good game. 64 yards, I believe, on 5 catches and a touchdown. I'll take that every day of the week as a Michael Pittman fantasy owner. And I also have to mention one critical thing last night, which I think was my biggest takeaway outside of the Colts dominating the football game. Mike LaFleur is going to get a head coaching job 2-3 years from now. And Detroit, I really want you to pay attention right now because there's this pool of talent coming out very soon. Could be this year, could be next year. And that's Brian Daboll, Joe Brady, Kellen Moore, Mike LaFleur, and I could continue. Eric Bieniemy. There are offensive coordinators out there in the NFL, but we'll stick with the first 4 I mentioned because they're so young. And these are the future pioneers of your league. This is where the league is heading. The young, offensive-minded head coaches that go to the quarterback and they just make the team better. Your Zach Taylors, Sean McVays, Kyle Shanahan to an extent, Matt LaFleur out in Green Bay. This is where the league is going. So, Detroit, it would be a damn shame if all 4 of them got hired and 2 of them turned out to be stars. And you sat there 3 years into Dan Campbell and sat on your ass. I'm just saying it would be a damn shame. But I'm telling you right now, and I mean this, I mean this so genuinely, and I'm being very serious when I say this. If I am the GM of the Detroit Lions, I'm already preparing for my next head coach. And I'll tell you why. It has nothing to do with Dan Campbell. Mike LaFleur is giving me something already. You can laugh at the Jets all you want. Robert Saleh, is it going to work? Laugh all you want. That is a very untalented football team that somehow was able to put up 30 points in back-to-back weeks and is somehow able to beat the Cincinnati Bengals and is somehow has 2 wins playing with a second-string quarterback and now a third-string quarterback with 5 starters out of the lineup, with a defense riddled by injuries, and let's be honest, an offense with limited talent. The O-line's not great. The receiving core is old. Elijah Moore looked good last night. Great. That's finally. Took 9 games. And Michael Carter emerging as a nice back in the NFL, but nothing special.
Yeah.
But they can figure it out. And I'll leave that to you because I know you want to talk about Anthony Lynn, but this is where the league is going.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't see it and you don't want to commit to it, be my guest. Dig your own grave. But I see where the league is going. It's obvious as hell. Whether or not you want to jump on board is on you. But I know where I stand on those 4 coaches. Or those coordinators, I should say. I know that in 2-3 years, all 4 would have been hired. And of the 4, likely 2 become stars. That's just how it works. Not all of them become stars. I mean, it's hit or miss, really. But when you're taking a chance on these young guys, it's either they hit or they don't hit.
Yep.
And that's the risk involved. But I'm telling you, of the 4, 2 will be stars. Who? We'll see. But 2 of them will be very good and successful head coaches in the NFL. And my money also is going to be on Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's brother. His brother's doing just fine in Green Bay. But he needs more time. He needs another year or two probably as a coordinator, and then he'll leave the Jets project. So I think of the 4 available, I think he's going to stay the longest in his current situation. But Brian Daboll and Joe Brady for sure are getting jobs this offseason. Kellen Moore, we'll have to see.
Listen, last night, what we witnessed Mike LaFleur do, not only the week prior with Mike White, but this week, Mike White goes out. They have to pull Josh Johnson into the starting lineup, a guy who's thrown 8 career touchdown passes in, 6 years being a backup. What he was able to do last night was impressive. 27 for 41. Josh Johnson goes 300 yards, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had half his career touchdowns last night. And you can thank Mike LaFleur for that, the Mount Pleasant native. And this is a guy that Robert Saleh knew when he left San Francisco. All good leaders, listen, I mean, we can throw Dan Campbell in this conversation. All good leaders know their weaknesses. They know what they do not know. And Robert Saleh knew. He took Mike LaFleur, the passing game coordinator for San Francisco for the last couple of years, from that Shanahan tree, brought him to New York. All right, he's only, 32, 33 years old. And you saw it, like Adam just alluded to. If you know, you know. And with the Jets, they are a bad football team.
Do you need to look to last night to tell me that Mike LaFleur has something in him or no?
Honestly, you can look to last night, the week prior.
Thank you. The week prior against Cincinnati. So for everybody thinking, oh my goodness, it all came in garbage time. You know what? Last I checked, Colts weren't in prevent defense.
Yeah.
They weren't.
And
they were in single high safety and two high safety cover 2.
Yep.
They were playing. They were sending their edge rushers and dropping back their linebackers. They were playing pretty good zone coverage. What Johnson did so well is he took everything that was given to him. He didn't try to force anything.
Right.
And that's why the Jets were able to move the ball. That's what that does. And then when they got to the red zone, they made big plays. They just did. Good. But like you said, last week it happened against Cincinnati.
Damn good team. Like, listen, Mike LaFleur, like you just said, Mike LaFleur, the Joe Bradys, the Kellen Moores, these guys are going to be head coaches. In my opinion, I'm not going to sit here and say, because the jury's not on Dan Campbell, but what I will say is Dan needs to do what Robert Saleh is doing. He understands, Robert Saleh knows, listen, I'm not an offensive guru. He may know defense, but Mike LaFleur is his guy. And with Dan Campbell, Anthony Lynn, he may be his guy, but so far, if you know, you know. And you know Anthony Lynn, his offensive philosophy is not working with Jared Goff. It's not working with the dynamic backfield you already have. Don't even give me we don't have weapons. That's the most easy way out for any offensive coordinator. Look at what the Jets, they were out their number 1 wide receiver, Corey Davis. You could argue TJ Hockenson is better than their entire wide receiver core, and they were able to get plenty of yards on the ground and through the air. So it just makes zero sense why the Lions with Anthony Lynn can't produce on offense. I just honestly, I don't have an excuse. I think they have a better offensive line than the Jets. Even with injuries, they're pretty comparable. And Josh Johnson looked pretty damn good last night, and a credit that to Michael LaFleur. So what I think Dan Campbell needs to do over the course of this year or even next year, get rid of Anthony Lynn. I don't want to give him another year with weapons to see what he can do. I know what he can do. And if you know, you know. Michael LaFleur is a talented offensive coordinator, and in a couple of years, he will be a head coach. Dan Campbell needs to get one of those guys as his offensive coordinator. So that way, let's say you do fire Dan Campbell. You have a guy in-house who you can bring up and keep as your head coach.
Well, you got 60 years of track record of poor
not doing
decision-making.
that.
So, I wouldn't even say that. It's not going to happen. Look, the league is heading in this direction. Young, offensive-minded head coaches. We can all agree on this. Now, if you had your choice between a young defensive coordinator or a young offensive-minded coordinator, you would go with the offense guy. Why? Because there's more examples of it working currently in the NFL. You have your Matt Rules, your Zach Taylors, Sean McVays, etc., etc. Defensive-wise, too early for Robert Saleh, but it's more difficult, and that's why he hired a Mike LaFleur. And Robert Saleh's job is to get good talent and put them in the position to succeed. They were able to, last night I sent out a tweet and I was saying, like, hey, like, this is where the league is going. You need to wake the hell up. Don't fall behind, and in 3-4 years from now say, damn it, why didn't we hire these guys? Why? Why didn't we? You don't want to put yourself in that position. Now, if you think Dan Campbell's the bee's knees, be my guest, but I don't think anybody thinks that. Colts looked really good last night. To recap, we'll see him nails it on the spot. Whoever gets Kellen Moore is lucky. Kellen Moore's doing a hell of a job. So is Dan Quinn out in Dallas. I think Dallas has the best 1-2 punch of coordinators in the NFL.
That's okay. Let me just allude that though, because if you look at Dan Campbell, okay, Michael McCarthy, I'm not going to give him the credit for a lot of their success, even though he is the head coach. I will give him something. But we agree that their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator elevate Michael McCarthy.
Absolutely.
So if they're bad, they're gonna
make him look worse.
Right. So I think with Dan Campbell and Robert Saleh, Robert Saleh gets it. He gets it.
But what makes more sense to you? Having a head coach who has no understanding of either side of the ball, or one who is strong on one side of the ball who can intervene when needed.
I mean, as long as you have the right guys in place, like I get Robert Saleh knows the defensive side of the ball, but if he didn't and he got a very talented defensive coordinator like a Michael McCarthy,
then you're relying on the people around you to succeed, and if they don't, then you fail to.
True, but you better be
and
damn
I'd rather
confident.
have the young, offensive-minded head coach. I've seen it work around the league. I've seen the Bengals turn it around, and the Bengals have sucked for the last 5 years. And they turned it around in 2 years with Zach Taylor. But I'm supposed to give Dan Campbell 4 or 5 years, right, guys? Right? I think we're on the same page, yeah. Yeah. So pathetic.
Well,
pathetic.
It's tough for me to jump off of Dan so quickly.
It's not
I
about
can't,
jumping off. Look around the league.
Calling for his job. I can't.
It's not about that. Guys, look around the league and be honest with yourself. This is the reality. This is the world you're living in. And if you want to sit back and watch Tesla Motors and all these other companies, electric companies, fly by you while you're still driving a 2005 Ford Focus, be my guest. And then when there's no more gasoline on Earth and you're stuck with a gas-fueled car, good luck.
All right, on that note, we got to go to break. Coming up next, we will recap what we do like from what we've seen over the last 8 Lions games. Luckily, we all get a break this week. We're on a bye, so we will recap the last 8 games for you guys. But before we go, if you want to bet on any of the NFL games, like I did last night, Adam, shout out to you for my big 7-leg parlay dub. Use my bookie.
Guys, my bookie, I hooked up Kennedy with a nice, what was it, a $25 bet last night? Paid out
15.
What? 15?
Paid out 135.
There you go. So Kennedy made some money last night, guys. My bookie, bet from anywhere, anytime using my bookie. Sign up today on their website using code Woodward. They'll match you dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll give you $200. They'll match it with $100. You put in $200, they'll give you $200. I am all about this with my bookie. And also, guys, if you refer your friends, you can get a potential 250% bonus when they sign up as well. So tell your friends about it too. You already have a MyBookie account? Good. Tell them to deposit using code Woodward, and you will get the same deposit match as they put in. Free money, guys. Free money. Again, that's MyBookie. Bet from anytime, anywhere. I love it. But please, of course, as always, if you have a gambling problem, call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. As promised, we are recapping the Lions over these past 8 weeks, what we've liked, what we haven't liked, probably more. But, you know, we've had a lot of what they're calling moral victories. We were in a lot of games that we shouldn't have been. But, boys, tell me, through 8 games, what are some positives that we can take away, either with coaching, front office, maybe players? Adam, start with you.
We'll start with the moral victories. We'll start with the moral victories. You take all those moral victories and you shove them up your ass. Let's start there. How about that?
I hate you.
Moral victories. Are you serious, Kennedy?
That's what they're calling it.
They are stupid.
Oh.
Okay? Don't listen to stupid people. No to moral victories, okay? Let's start with positives. Outside of moral victories, allegedly. I think the only positives you can really take is that this team hasn't gotten blown out in every single game. That's a start. Hawkinson has emerged as a premier tight end. That's good. Deandre Swift has emerged as a premier feature running back. Now, does he need to get better hitting the holes? Sure. But I think you got to give him the opportunity. I need to see 16, 18, 20 carries a few more times this year from Deandre Swift in a given game. That way I can get a better understanding of how he translates in the future. But we know as a pass-catching back, he's one of the best. He's definitely top 6 in the NFL in terms of being a pass-catching back. So I think that's at least a positive you can take away there.
Yeah, in terms of positives on the offense, like Adam just said, individually you can. As a unit, no. You can't take anything from the offense. What I will say is Deandre Swift, like Adam just alluded to, his ability to catch the ball in the backfield, it makes him a very, very valuable back. And I think if you use him correctly, which I think the Lions, have, he can be a great success for this team when they're winning games. So they've been doing a good job with Deandre Swift. I think T.J. Hawkinson's still a top 5 tight end, so that's a positive. And then Penei Sewell over the last couple games has looked good. So that's really the positives.
We have an idiot in the chat, Antonio King. Adam and Corey said Goff was better than Cousins. I was proven right. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Last I checked, I had Goff last below Justin Fields.
Yeah.
in our quarterback rankings preseason in the NFC North.
Even though I argued Goff over Fields, I still had Kirk Cousins above.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is the second best quarterback in the division. It's not even a question. So I don't know where you got that from, but congratulations. Downsides, Anthony Lynn has been awful this year. Anthony Lynn has had 8 games to get the offense to at least somewhat function. Get creative. Throw to an offensive lineman in the red zone. Run a reverse. Do something outside of nothing. And that's what Anthony Lynn's offered all year. Nothing. And I know Jared Goff is god-awful. But here we go. Here we go. Anthony Lynn has offered you nothing. He's done an awful job. Fired from Los Angeles as a head coach. Comes to Detroit. Yes, I know Jared Goff is his quarterback. But if Mike LaFleur is able to get something out of Mike White and Josh Johnson, you got to get something out of Jared Goff. You just do. You can't tell me it's just this bad. And I understand he's missing the reads. Well, sit down with him. You're the coach.
Tell
and
him
say, hey, you're making these mistakes. Let's take a step back. Go ABC a little bit. Next week, this is our focus. I want you to take I want you to focus on your 3-step drops, and I want you to hit the underneath routes all game. That's what we're going to take. All right? We're not going to try anything fancy. Here's what I want you to do. I don't even know if that's happening. And if it is, the coach sucks, and so does the player for not understanding what the hell the coach is even saying. It's unbelievable. The offense is atrocious.
Oh, it's bad.
Now you want to backtrack. It's okay. I mean, you know what? Here, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to let Jeff talk, and I'm going to pull up the clip, and we're going to play it on the show because you're talking out of your ass. So I know who this guy is. First time in the chat I've ever seen him.
All right, listen, we'll talk about the coordinators. If you want to talk about positives, defensively, injuries for both sides of the ball. I mean, you're missing Romeo Okwara, Jeff Okudah's out, Iffy is out with the quad. Offensively, they've had a lot of injuries. Ragnow, obviously, and Taylor Decker's just returning. But you could take, if you know, you know. And Aaron Glenn has done a really good job with his defense. They kind of, I mean, other than the Eagles game, which I think, the Lions just didn't come to play entirely. But before then, the defense has been competitive. And I thought, you could see in Aaron Glenn there's something there. That's a guy who you want to hang on to and keep to run your defense. He's a great teacher. All the corners can't say enough good things about him and what he's been able to show him. Josh Jacobs, he's got A.J. Parker and Josh Jacobs playing out of their minds so far in the season. And that's great. But offensively, Anthony Lynn, we got to talk. We got to have a conversation. You got to really look yourself in the mirror and kind of just evaluate your performances so far into the season. 0-8. I get you don't have a lot of weapons, but let's talk about other offensive coordinators. Tim Kelly for the Texans. Davis Mills is his quarterback. Now, if you want to say Davis Mills is better than Jared Goff, go ahead. I don't know if that's true. They're probably comparable. If not, Jared Goff's better. And if I can remember correctly, the Houston Texans don't have a dynamic backfield like the Lions do, or one of a top 5 tight end in the league. And Davis Mills is still able to score points. And they're not winning games, but they look better on offense with Davis Mills. So it's honestly depressing to say the least, to really look at this offense and see how bad they've underperformed. The only reason why they stayed alive in games like the Rams is their special teams unit and the job Phipps has been doing with them. I'm not going to sit here and say the offense has been that spectacular. Like, I can't say that at all. If anything, I'd fire Anthony Lynn. You bring in a guy, sort of like an Aaron Glenn, a guy who's I think Aaron Glenn's, they hit it right on the home run with him. You got to find someone similar like that as an offensive coordinator. Not Anthony Lynn, not someone who's washed up. It's already been around the league. They fired Anthony Lynn, and you hired him. Like, that's it's despicable. You bring in a guy. There's got to be somebody, offensive assistant, quarterback coach, somebody that can call plays better than Anthony Lynn, and I believe he's out there. And, it may be premature to fire him in the first year with a bad team, but I could care less. If you know, and I know that Anthony Lynn's a damn bad coordinator. I mean, a bad coordinator. He looked good last year because of his Justin Herbert, who's arguably already a top 10 quarterback in the league. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So that's what I think.
Kennedy,
that's all the positives.
What positives are you taking away so far? 8 games in, they're 8-0. I need to hear it, please. Or negative. I mean, whatever you want to talk about.
I mean, obviously we have TJ Hawkinson. That's good. I'm interested to see how we do with Decker back. I know you're not going to like it, but they're going to put him back at left. So we'll see if that's helpful at all. Probably not, but we shall see. Positives, the rah-rah of Dan Campbell. It's at the beginning, I appreciated preseason. I definitely appreciated. He got me excited for the season, which was nice because we knew we weren't going to have a lot to be excited about, so it was nice. It's kind of like depleted now, but it was fun while it lasted. I mean, I'm just so bummed out after last week's game. It's really hard for me right now. Darius Slay had a touchdown against us, so that was a positive for me. But Lions positives, man, they are definitely far and few in between. Just because, like you said, there's injuries everywhere. It's hard to know what this team could have been this year. Would Okudah have gone off this year as a sophomore? We don't know, and that's just a bummer that we've had to deal with so many injuries. That would be my biggest negative. Is that if everyone was healthy, would we have more wins? I don't know. That's something we will never know. But we might be the first ever team to go 0-17. And you know what? That's impressive in its own way. That's what I have.
And the moral victory thing, like, although it's not valid, like I can't sit here and say there's a lot of moral victories because a loss is a loss. You're winless. You're a winless football team. It's actually depressing. But I will say this, there's problems that you can address, as Dan Campbell, he should, and Brad Holmes into the offseason. There's things you can fix. If you sit here and say, yeah, we might win one game this year, but next year we're going to go into the season and hopefully win more. Like, no, someone needs to take the fall. Somebody's going to have to take the fall, and that's just the reality of it. Me and Stick talked about it Monday. It's somebody's going to have to take the fall. In my opinion, it's Anthony Lynn. That's the only side of the football. You can talk about special teams. You can talk about defensively. You could talk about, is it Deuce Staley, running backs coach. You could talk about all the other coaches offensively. They look bad. And, yeah, you can pull listen, Jared Goff's to blame for the offensive struggles. I don't buy it. I mean, I listen, he's bad. But for as bad as the Lions have been offensively, it's hard to just put everything on Jared Goff. It is, because they have not been able to do anything. And I believe Aubrey Pleasant is the passing game coordinator. So there's a lot of self-reflection that needs to be done for the Detroit Lions, because there's not too many positives at them, like you were saying earlier. There really isn't.
I'm not even sure what to offer Lions fans right now, so I don't even want to talk about them. We can move on. I want to talk about Michigan State.
All right, we will be previewing the Michigan State-Purdue game coming up next. Both of our Michigan teams are taking on Indiana teams this week, so it should be exciting. But first, the best defense, not the Detroit Lions defense, but our friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Yeah, listen, I talk about a defense that's playing above their means. You got to mention Guardian Alarm, because Guardian Alarm, they get it. They get it. Good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock your doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. That's 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, we're ready for all you Sparty fans. Tomorrow, the undefeated Spartans taking on the Boilermakers in West Lafayette at 3:30. Purdue is sitting at 5-3 right now, ranked third in the Big Ten West. So this should be a win for the Spartans. They are a 3-point favorite. But you guys, your preview for this game, your thoughts, Jeff?
Well, yeah, we have a 5-3 Purdue team. A lot of, our guy Ryan predicted State would lose this game, and people are saying the line is actually begging you to take State. But it is in Purdue, and for a lot of Michigan fans, this could be a trap game. They're hoping this is a trap game. But I think State wins. It's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I think Purdue's a tough football team. Their quarterback can't stop throwing interceptions, so they have that going for them. But it's all about how Peyton Thorne bounces back. Had 2 interceptions last game. I think he comes out and he plays better. Kenneth Walker, he's coming off the best performance he's had all season, scoring every point in that Michigan game. So I'm kind of looking forward to see how he bounces back. But a lot of the odds have it 60-40 on ESPN for Spartans versus the Boilermakers. So Boilermakers. So it's going to be close. But I think the Sparties pull it off. I think the Purdue's going to have a hard time stopping K9, the Heisman candidate, the man who should have the trophy right now. And Peyton Thorne, I don't think he has a game as bad as he did last game. I think it really just depends. Is Michigan State how they're going to play coming off that game? Are they going to have an off week or a trap game, as like a lot of people like to say, or are they going to come out and play well? It really just depends. And I think they've played well above their means so far in the season. I mean, they're bound to drop a game. I don't know if they'll go undefeated throughout the entirety of the season. I think they drop one to Ohio State. They might have another loss somewhere on the schedule, and it may be very well to Purdue, but I think they close it out. It'll be closer than a lot of people think. I think the score, honestly, is probably a 24-20 game. They cover. I think State will cover. It's plus 3.5, minus 3.5. So I think they cover, but I think State just skims out with a win, Adam. I don't know if Purdue can get the upset, but it's going to be closer, in my opinion.
Well, fun fact. This is from Chris Solari. He's a Michigan State football and basketball reporter. If Michigan State wins tomorrow, it'll be the 5th time in program history that they've started 9-0. The previous 4 times they've done it, they've won the national championship.
Wow.
So, State fans, you win tomorrow, book it.
Oh, my God.
Book it. It's the natty. That's awesome. When I saw it on my Twitter feed, I was like, holy crap, that's a great stat. Look, Purdue's going to be a tough matchup. Yeah. It's any Big Ten game. Once you're in November, guys, all the games are tough. Even if you're a 19-point favorite, 5, 10, doesn't matter. The games are going to be tough. And some games you'll win them big, and it'll be easier than you expected, but this is going to be a tough game. At Purdue, I mean, you're coming off the biggest emotional win of the season. Probably the biggest win in the last 3-4 years for State. Emotionally, I mean, and with meaning.
Hopefully they don't have a hangover
You're worried about a hangover, but I think Mel Tucker, this team, I mean, they're built on this word. I love it. Relentless. Be relentless. This is a relentless football team. They played like it against Michigan. I think they come out and they handle business against Purdue. You can stack the box on Kenneth Walker if you want. I don't think it'll work. And if you do, that's fine. Peyton Thorne will beat you over the top with Jaden Reed. So I like State to win this game. I'm not going to worry too much about what's the word you use, Jeff? Trap game. I'm not a fan of that. Look, this is a big game coming off an emotional win. You need to go out and handle business. I like State to win. If they lose, Michigan fans, you should shut the hell up, because if they lose, you're probably falling out of the top 10 even if you beat Indiana. Right now, Michigan, you're ranked 7th in the college football playoff rankings because you lost to the number 3 team in the country. So how about you chill out on, I hope Michigan State loses. No, you should hope they lose to Ohio State and Penn State. Then that kind of works in your favor. But the only way that benefits you is if you win out, which you have proven you can't do any of that. So how about Michigan fans, shut the hell up. How about you do something for once in the last 20 years, and maybe you can talk smack to another program, let alone a program that's in your state that has accomplished more than you in the last 15 years. So how about we start there, huh? Like, I'll throw you a bone. You shut the hell up, and then you throw me back like, all right, we'll see how it plays. I'll give you that. You prefer State to lose against Ohio State and Penn State. That's better for you. But that's only better for you if you win out, which, let's be honest, what are the odds? You couldn't beat Michigan State up 30-14. You couldn't close that deal. Away to Penn State, good luck. And then you finish the season at home against Ohio State. Good luck. Good luck. Go take care of business in Indiana, then we can talk next week. Beat Indiana, and we can preview the Penn State matchup and why it's so important, given that week you'll be playing Penn State and Ohio State will be playing Michigan State, and how that could totally shake up the Big Ten if results go in your favor, Michigan. But if Michigan State wins, you're done. So, there you have it. I think Michigan State pulls out a win against Purdue. I don't think they have a hangover. This team is focused. Their head coach is focused. I love it.
And they're facing a real number one wide receiver in David Bell. I mean, this guy has doubled the next yards of the next receiver, and he's going to be drafted this year. So it's going to be interesting to see the secondary for Michigan State. They struggled last week against Cade and McNamara. We'll see how until the last, obviously the ending when they picked them off, but we'll see how they step up. It's going to be an interesting game. I think it'll be a great game to watch, but I think we mutually agree. What's your score prediction? What do you think State gets it done?
I'm going to give State a 27-23 win. It's going to be close.
So similar. Yeah. I said 24, but I think, like to your point,
it's
going to
be close. Look, guys, you can say all you want about Michigan State, but do me one favor. Do not call them little brother, especially if I'm here. Now, if you need to know, I'm not a State fan. I'm not a Michigan fan. I'm neither. I'm a neutral. But when a team has beaten you 10 out of the last 14 times, Jim Harbaugh has 3 of those wins, you should kind of chill out and banter aside. If you actually think they're little brother, you're kind of lying to yourself. Look in the mirror. Your program has achieved nothing in 15, 20 years. All you do is lose. That's all you're known for, is losing the big games. So you decide. If you win out, there's a good chance you're playing in Indianapolis. But don't sleep on State. They are making you look better than what you are right now, because they are the number 3 team in the country. You're the number 7 team because you lost the week prior to the number 3 ranked team in the country, according to the committee. That's a good loss. Shut up.
Adam, fair? I want to know, are you nervous about Peyton Thorne going into this game? Threw 4 interceptions in the past 2 games, and then Purdue's pass defense had 4 picks against Iowa and Nebraska. Does that make you nervous at all?
No, look. Peyton Thorne made 2 mistakes in the first half against Michigan. Does everybody forget what he did in the second half?
Right.
Last I checked, on 4th and 4, he threw a dime to the pylon short of the goal line, or short of the red zone, excuse me. That totally changed the momentum of the game. State goes down, and then they score, and then they're only down 8, and they score on the 2-point conversion. Peyton Thorne made that throw. The kid's made the throws all year. I have no worries. Even if he makes mistakes, he has the football acumen, that IQ, that comfort, that self-awareness, where he's not going to throw the game away for his football team. He's not going to play good in the first half, first 3 quarters, like Cade McNamara, and then show up in the 4th and throw a dumpster fire.
It's the opposite.
He's going to make the plays when he's asked to. And that's why State won the game and Michigan lost, because Michigan State and Peyton Thorne and Kenneth Walker made the plays when they had to. Michigan didn't. End of story. No refs, no fumbles, nothing. When you needed to make the plays, you didn't. And when State needed to make the plays, they did. End of story. I am confident in Peyton Thorne. I've liked him all season.
Yeah, and I have confidence that even if State goes down early, he can pull them out of a hole, and that's kind of the difference between him and Cade McNamara. And I stick by it to even 8 games into the season. So I think Peyton Thorne bounces back. What an opportunity to bounce back! You're away to Purdue, you're undefeated still, and this is a good opportunity to kind of show, if Kenneth Walker has 60, 70 yards, like he has a down game, it's a great opportunity for Peyton Thorne to step up. So we'll see.
All right, you guys, I like it. Up next, we will be covering the Michigan game for all you Wolverine fans out there. We will see you right after the break.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. We've got another big matchup, U of M taking on the Hoosiers in Indiana. The game will be played at the Big House at 7:30 tomorrow. After last weekend, Michigan sitting at 7-1, the Hoosiers 2-6. This one I think is a bit easier to call. U of M should be taking the dub here, but Adam, your thoughts?
Yeah, 19.5-point favorites, but I want to touch on something from the chat regarding, I believe Jack Johnson said State is not a top 3 team and Michigan is not a top 10 team. In theory, I kind of agree with you. Mm-hmm. I don't think State's the 3rd best team in the country right now, but they've earned to have the number 3 spot in the rankings. They've earned it. I don't think Oregon is the 4th best team in the country. They beat Ohio State early on. It's a damn good win, and they've looked good since outside of Stanford, where, let's be honest, they blew a game they had complete control over. So is Michigan the 7th best team? Are they better than Oklahoma, Wake Forest, Baylor, Texas A&M, Mississippi? I mean, you could make the argument back and forth. It would probably be a close game between all of them. But, guys, this is a down year in college football. There's 3-4 teams at the top that are just above everyone else. And then everybody past 5 is kind of on the same level.
Right.
Alabama, Georgia, and, I want to throw in Ohio State because of reputation. Those are the 3 teams that just stick out the most to me. Those are the 3 teams. And State have earned it as well, Michigan State. They've earned it. They won a big game against an undefeated Michigan team in late October. That's a damn good win. So those 4 teams, I can make the argument, right now are head and shoulders above the rest. And then the rest of the teams, they're nothing impressive, guys. Cincinnati, Michigan. Who are you going to put in the top 10 over Michigan? Who? Baylor, BYU. BYU lost a horrible game to Boise State. Texas A&M, Auburn. Maybe if Auburn beats Alabama, then you throw them up, sure. But it's a down year. It's a down year for a lot of these teams. And I don't think the top is as clear as it used to be outside of Georgia and Bama. Those are the 2 clear 1A, 1B teams. Everyone else after that, you can kind of you can have a debate over.
Except for Cincinnati.
So, stop. So I completely disagree with that. But moving on, Michigan 19.5-point favorites against Indiana, 7:30 kickoff. So it's a night game at least. So you get to watch football basically all day on Saturday. It's never a bad thing. And Michigan should win this game easily. They need to.
Yeah. No, they need to.
Jim Harbaugh, hear me very clearly, my friend. As a guy I think you've done an okay job, but you failed in the most important section, which is beating your rivals and delivering a Big Ten championship. So, Jim, beat Indiana, go beat Penn State on the road, and then go beat Maryland on the road. And if you can do that, Jim, you're walking into the final game of the year, 10-1, with an opportunity to potentially play in Indianapolis if you can beat Ohio State. And let's be real, Ohio State is not the Ohio State that we saw under Urban Meyer. They just aren't. Now, are they still good enough to beat Michigan State and Michigan? Probably, yeah, they are. But give yourself an opportunity. Jim, do not blow one of the next 3 games. Do not blow it. If you win the next 3 games and you beat Ohio State at the end of the year and Michigan State runs the table, I could sit here and make the argument that you should be in the fourth team in the college football playoffs. I could make that argument. I really think I could. Over an undefeated Oklahoma, over a one-loss Pac-12 champion Oregon, I think I could make that argument. Because I could make the argument that Michigan, their only loss was to the second or third best team in the country that ran the Big Ten and won it all and went undefeated. That's a damn good argument.
Yeah.
What's Oklahoma's loss? Texas? Oh, excuse me, not Oklahoma's loss. I meant Oregon. Stanford?
Ohio State lost to Oregon, you know.
So I could make a good argument for a one-loss Michigan to get in.
Yeah.
I can't say that if you don't go out and take care of business. So Michigan, Harbaugh, I liked what you did in the offseason. Don't ruin it on tomorrow night against Indiana. Go out, take care of business, and show up on the road in Penn State and win. It's that simple. And if you can do that, you've given yourself a damn good opportunity to walk in 10-1 against Ohio State. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think Michigan, they're obviously big favorites. I think they convincingly get it done, and we're talking about bounce-back games for Peyton Thorne. This is a great bounce-back game for the entire Michigan Wolverines. Like, they have an opportunity to come in. They're welcoming Indiana, I think, at home. Is it at home? Yeah, it is at home. And I think they'll absolutely obliterate this team because if you look at Michael Penix, the quarterback for the Hoosiers, he has more interceptions than touchdowns. 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He is a quarterback that has a lot of flaws, and Michigan's going to be able to take advantage of this, pound the football, kind of like they weren't able to do late against State, but they're going to be able to do everything against Indiana. Indiana played State very well. They lost 20-15, but this is a different animal, and I think Michigan comes in ticked off from last game, and you can say what you want about Cade McNamara. I think if they're up big, you play J.J. McCarthy still, you get him his reps, but I don't think this is – if Jim even makes this close, if this game is close – you know, let's say
Harbaugh's coaching for his job right now.
Yeah, he is. These are big games, man.
You lost the first one.
You can't just win. You have to win
I'll give him
convincingly.
I will give him credit. He won 2 games on the road. Years prior, he would lose. Away to Nebraska, away to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That was impressive. It happened in October, not in September, guys. These weren't September wins. These were October wins. Good job. You had an opportunity to play State. You were up in that game, you blew it. You didn't deliver against your rival. People are going to hold that against you, Jim. So you got to beat Indiana, you got to go beat Penn State, and you got to take care of business on the road against Maryland. If you do that, Jim, I could sit here early December, even if you lose to Ohio State, and say, you know what, 10-2, it's kind of tough for me to say you get rid of him, but he did go 1-2 against his rivals. So what do you want me to do? The guy needs to beat Ohio State. You can't go 0-2 against Ohio State and Michigan State this year. You can't. I don't care how good they are. You got to beat them. You've been favored in all 7 games against Michigan State. You're 3-4. Because as much as I want to make sense of all this, at the end of the day, I can't defend you, Jim Harbaugh, because you have failed to deliver in the rivalry games, the marquee key matchups. You have failed to do that. Walk in to Ann Arbor, November 27th, 10-1 against Ohio State and beat them, we are having a completely different conversation. A completely different conversation about Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. That's what Michigan and Michigan fans should worry about. Go take care of business against Indiana. I'll say it again. On the road, beat Penn State. Show you can beat a good team on the road. Go beat Maryland. That'll probably be a trap game leading into Ohio State. And then you got to beat Ohio State. That's the only way Michigan's season is salvaged, and you can consider it a success. Because I could make the argument, I would take a one-loss Michigan football team that only missed out on the Big Ten championship game because State ran the table and went undefeated. I could make that argument. That's a damn good loss, Jim. But I can't make it if you go out and lose 2 of the next 4 games. If you do that, I can't help you. You got to go.
He's on an island.
You got to go. It's that simple. Fair? Kennedy?
That's fair.
I know you're an Ohio State girl, but
Woo!
Get us out of here. We got to hit the break.
All right, you guys. I think this weekend, not Detroit, wow, Michigan going to try and make a big statement on defense as well as with their run game. So I look forward to that. We shall see. But coming up next, we have a fun segment that Adam named Hit It or Quit It. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. I had to say you said it. I'm not going to take credit for this one.
It was a joke.
Are we not actually naming it that?
That was not the segment name, damn it.
What do you want to name it?
Buy or sell? I don't know. I told you guys to come up with a name.
I thought you were serious.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's Hit It or Quit It now.
Oh, boy.
Whatever the graphic is, I don't want to see it on the screen, Westfall. Get us to break, Kennedy. Get us to break.
Okay, first, Folding Warehouse.
Folding Warehouse, guys. Look, we're going to be there for a company event. Kennedy is no longer invited because she decided it was a great idea to take what happens in our Slack chat and put it out in public. I'm going to kill you, Kennedy. The Folding Warehouse Company, guys. It's in Hamtramck, home of the original football bowling pin game called, of course, Folding. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends and have a good time. There's 2 ways to play. $10 undefeated open play where you can stay the whole time. We're open all day. Or a private lane reservation for about $120 for 10 people for 2 hours. We have over 100 beers. Our $2 Mystic Beer Machine, Kennedy, I'm going to kill you. And multiple full bars. Your food, you can have it delivered or you can bring it, be our guest. Again, that's the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. We will see you guys after the break.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Woodward Sports, featured on the Roar, 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2.
I can't believe it.
Welcome to this segment.
I can't believe it.
We're rolling with it now. It's too late. You guys don't reply to me in the work chat.
Excuse me?
I think you're
I made
serious.
it very clear to all of you. Come up with a creative name for this segment.
And that's
I
what
made
happened.
a joke.
I
and
said
it's actually
impregnate
what
or
we're
pull
rolling
out,
with?
so... You didn't want it to
You guys
be
are
home.
trying to
I
Dave
said
Portnoy.
love
Are
it
you
or
trying to
list
Dave
it, like-
Portnoy me right now?
Adam, to be honest, when I saw Hit It or Quit It, I kind of was like, you know what? This is
I didn't
kind
think
of
it was
an
that
Adam
bad
name right here.
because you are the king of doing those weird story times where you're like, if you have a hot girlfriend and someone else and then you trade like golf. So like, don't act like this is out of pocket for you. It's not. But anyway, everyone, welcome to our new segment, Hit It or Quit It.
Pause the graphic,
our last segment ever of this edition. God damn it.
In our last segment ever before we get pulled off the air. But you guys, there's quite a few teams having an off season this year. I'm not an off season, but an off season, not doing too hot. We've got the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Steelers, and the Colts. We will go through all of them and let you know if these boys are hitting or quitting on these teams.
I can't do this.
So let's start with the Chiefs. Hit or quit, Adam.
I'm quitting it. The defense is... I can't believe we're doing this. I can't.
I love when Adam's like, I'm quitting it. Then you got to explain
I can't
why
do
you're
this.
All right, explain.
What
Why
are we doing?
you-
All right, first of all, the Chiefs are just, guys, an impressive 3-year run. They need to slightly retool. Not rebuild, retool. They're missing pieces on defense.
Yeah.
They lack any talent on the defensive side of the ball. And let's be honest, it's not that teams have caught up to the way that the Chiefs play on offense. It's really not about that. What it is, you know what? We're not as explosive. We're not as dynamic. Now teams are keying in on Tyreek Hill, on Travis Kelce, and let's be honest, the players that we have around them aren't making any plays. They're not getting any separation. Patrick Mahomes is not being patient. He's not taking what is given to him.
Yep.
I am passing on this team as a contender. I still think they're a 9-10 win team, but I'm going to pass on them as a contender in the AFC. I just think the Bills are head and shoulders above the rest. So the Chiefs, I am leaving them alone. I can't believe we're actually doing this. Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to quit it because, listen, for everything you just said, the Chiefs are probably a good 4 to 5 players away defensively, and that's just defensively. Offensively, they got a lot of things to figure out. I'm not going to say they've been caught up to, But like Adam just alluded to, the players around Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are struggling to make plays. They've been without Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So, I mean, no defense means no championships, and I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are real contenders in the AFC. I would pick a handful of other teams to win that matchup, even though the Chiefs are, Patrick Mahomes is still special. I just think he's overcompensating for how bad they are defensively, and I don't think that's going to hold up very well. You might win, 20-17 against the Giants, or you might win against Jordan Love and the Packers next week, but doesn't mean you're a contender. So I'm quitting the Packers. I'm buying out. So what's the next one?
All right. I'll also say I'm quitting on the Chiefs. As a Patrick Mahomes fantasy owner, I don't like it. But coming up next, we have the Chargers, which we all love Hollywood Herb here, and he is the best. And I have to give a shout-out to Justin and his fantasy team because he texted me this morning and said, when you guys do your fantasy stuff today, make sure you shout out the Herbie Heroes, which is Fish and Justin's team, and they're killing it. They think they're better than Adam, but we shall see. But, Jeff, hitting or quitting on the Chargers?
You know what? This is hard for me because the Chargers are 4-3. They're second in the AFC West behind the Raiders, and I don't know how long the Raiders can sustain their success, so I want to say hit it because I think the Chargers are bound to have wins, later in the season. But this is tough. I'll say hit it. You know what? I like Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert. I think this is their year. I mean, the Chiefs are having a down year. The Broncos, I don't think, are legit. They're only going to lose more games. I think the Chargers can really sneak into maybe a wild card spot, if not compete to try and be in one. But I'm a fan of the Chargers, so maybe me saying hit it's strictly based on how big I'm a fan of Justin Herbert and Brandon Staley. But at the same time, I'll say hit it. What about you on the Chargers, Adam? I know you like them.
I'm a big fan of Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert. Look, a tough loss. I think Brandon Staley, he's a young coach. He got outcoached by Bill Belichick. It's that simple. He got outcoached, out-schemed, and that's him coming off a bye week. So now it's time to buckle up. You got to win this game. I believe they're on the road, correct? The Chargers? I believe they are on the road. It's a big game, but I'm buying all into the Chargers. I'm in love with them this year. I think this is the year they probably win the division with 11 wins. I think 11 wins gets you the AFC West title. I think the Chiefs probably finish with 10. The Chargers already have the head-to-head matchup so far.
The Raiders, I think, will slow down, maybe get 9 wins.
Raiders are slowing down.
Wins.
I don't think this is going to go any farther than what it has. They're 5-2 right now.
Yeah, 5-2.
The most fraud 5-2 football team I've seen in a minute. So they're not that talented. Derek Carr is just overcompensating right now. It's very impressive.
All right, moving on. We've got the Steelers. I'm out on this one. What about you, Jeff?
I'm out on the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger and his noodle arm. I can't do it. And last year they were undefeated, and I saw through the BS. I know Adam was up here saying he saw through the BS as well. They're a very flawed football team still. And as much as I love Najee Harris, that's really the only light in a lot of darkness over in Pittsburgh. And Tomlin, of course. So I'm out on the Steelers. I think there's the Bengals, there's the Ravens, there's other teams, and even the Browns I would take over the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm out.
You're out on the Steelers?
Yep, I'm out on the Steelers. Even though I like Mike Tomlin, but I'm out.
Look, they've won 3 straight. They look good right now. The schedule's kind of easy for them upcoming, right? I think they can win this week, and the next week they've got Detroit, which, you kind of expect them to win that game. I like them as a wild card team to an extent, maybe. I think they've really figured out something with Najee Harris. That was a really good draft pick, but I'm not buying them at all as contenders. But I think it's good for the league when the Steelers are good. As much as I give the Steelers crap, I think it's good for the NFL that the Steelers are a relevant team. I think they can probably win 9-10 games at the most. So I think they push for the wild card. Do they make it? I doubt it. But with Cleveland now struggling, they're going to release Odell Beckham. Kareem Hunt, we're not sure when he comes back, maybe the next few weeks. Nick Chubb, is he 100%?
Jimmy.
A lot of things need to get right for Cleveland, I think. I really do believe Pittsburgh can finish second in this division, so I'll buy them as a last-second playoff team, but not as a contender.
All right. Let's actually, I know I didn't list them, but let's do this with the Browns as well, because I want to get your guys' takes on this. I was really high on the Browns coming into this season, and now they're kind of slowing down for me a little bit, and I don't like it. But I'm still going to say hit it because I like him.
Oh, no. I'm totally
I like Case
passing.
Keenum.
I'm quitting.
I'm quitting
I'm
big time on the Browns. They just have too many injuries.
They do.
They're overcoming a ton of injuries.
And now they've got some drama.
And they looked better with Case Keenum than they did with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, they just need to keep in Case.
And they have a tough schedule. I mean, besides the Lions game in 2 weeks, they have the Patriots, the Ravens, the Raiders, the Packers, and the Steelers, and the Bengals. Like, that's a tough stretch of games. And even with Baker Mayfield being as banged up as he is, I'm a fan of Kevin Stefanski. But like Adam just said, they've looked better at times with Case Keenum. And it's hard for me to really pick them over the Ravens twice, the Raiders, the Steelers even, or the Pack. I mean, they might win versus the Steelers, but they still have the Packers and the Bengals, which I don't think they win against. So it's a tough stretch of games for them. So, and they have the Bengals this week, of course. So it's gonna be tough for the Browns. If they want to get in the playoffs, they're gonna have to earn it. So we'll see. But I'm out. I quit.
Yeah, I'm out. I don't trust the quarterback situation. I love the head coach. I don't trust it. The defense has looked a little shaky the last few weeks. I think Cleveland has some soul-searching to do. The schedule gets really tough. Now, would I be surprised if they pull out and they start doing really well? No. But they got to handle this Odell Beckham situation.
They released
him off the team. You're better off without him. Get him out.
He got released today.
Was he? I thought the report was they're working on getting him released.
I said he was released. Or they're working on it, but he's gone.
No,
Either way.
I read they were working on it. I don't think anything was confirmed.
I heard Stefanski just went into the locker room and said he's on the team, but he's not. Like, he won't be playing.
Well, no, but there was an updated report today that both sides are in communication. Like, hey, we're going to figure out a buyout. We're going to release you from your contract.
It's not going to be Detroit, so everyone in my Twitter mentions right now, shut up.
No, everyone on Twitter should shut the hell up about Odell Beckham coming to Detroit. One, you don't have the cap space. Two, why?
Well, they're saying they're making him cheaper right now, is what they're working on.
Okay.
So, but still, Detroit does not need OBJ.
Why do you need
here.
OBJ?
We don't.
Jared Goff can't even get the first read right. You think he's going to make Odell Beckham happy? Corey Woods walking in here with breaking news. What's going on?
Are you? Oh.
I'm so confused.
Oh, they're working on it. They're working on it. Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, thank you, Corey.
So it's not
Corey
confirmed.
Yeah, they're working on releasing him. The Lions have no business getting Odell Beckham. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Look, Odell Beckham was special year 1 to year 3. That was a damn good player to watch, honestly.
Yeah,
he was fun to watch. But since, let's be honest, he's regressed in every major category year to year, and he's gotten hurt. If I'm a team, I don't see why I would have interest in him.
And I could see if teams were interested in him if they had already a winning organization, they could just slide Odell in. But other than that, I mean,
maybe
the Lions,
he should go to the Buccaneers. Antonio Brown's hurt. No
Jesus,
timeline on when he comes back.
Jesus Christ, Adam.
I'm being serious.
Don't do it.
Why?
Corey says since he's a vested veteran, he's getting waived because of it's past the deadline, et cetera, et cetera. So things need to happen.
So they're working
first.
it out, basically.
They're trying.
Because it's past the trade deadline and he's a vested veteran, he's going to get a waive.
Okay. And then he'll be able.
Oh, he's
okay.
got
He'll
clear
probably
waivers.
clear
Sign
waivers
freely.
most likely, and then teams will negotiate a minimum deal with him probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
he'll
like
double
that.
dip. He'll get a chance to double dip.
Yeah, I think Tampa's a good spot for him. If Antonio Brown's not going to be back for the playoffs, I think you go get OBJ.
And
Put him in the slot and have him go to work.
But to your point, I will say this: one guy that can get the most out of OBJ is number 12. It's Tom Brady. I think if he goes there, regardless how many receivers they have, you'll see some flashes of Odell. But like I said, I mean, even if we disagree how much Odell still has left, we can agree that he has been injury prone, and hopefully wherever he goes, he'll stay healthy. But
you know what? I like this suggestion in the chat. He should go to the Saints. You know what? That's a damn good spot.
Well, that's who was interested in getting him.
He could fill in the Michael Thomas role for that team. Look, you want to watch the 11-minute footage of Odell Beckham getting open. Look, I'm not saying he's a scrub, but what are you giving up for him? And if you can get him on a minimum deal, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Kennedy just continues to block people in the chat. This is hilarious.
Sorry. He's really pissing me off.
It's okay.
But what I will say is, not to get off topic, we'll go back to the. We still have some.
To the hit it or
Yeah,
quitting.
but I just want to say this.
Please.
We have one more team.
I can't believe we actually pulled this segment.
I'm so sorry. I really thought you were serious. But Jeff, what were you saying? Sorry.
Well, I was just saying with the whole, if he goes to the Saints thing, the only thing I will say is he'll have Taysom Hill throwing him the ball. Which, listen, if Baker Mayfield can't get it right or can't hit him, I don't think Taysom Hill's hitting him accurately. So I don't know if that's a good situation for him, but we'll see.
All
Back
right.
to the game.
Last team to hit or quit, the Colts. Adam, saw him last night.
Look, I admittedly have a crush on the Colts. I have to put my bias aside for a little bit.
Are you cheating on Hollywood Herb?
I'm not quitting on them. I'm not cheating on Hollywood Herb. Don't get me wrong. But I got to say, I like the Colts. This is a damn good roster. Damn good coaching staff.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, if he can play like he played last night, that's a team that's going to be tough to beat. That's the Carson Wentz they needed last week against Tennessee. Now, with Derrick Henry out, does Tennessee collapse? We'll have to wait and see. But the odds of them winning the division is going to be really hard from now.
Yeah, it is.
It's really tough now.
Especially when they beat them head-to-head.
Tennessee's what, 5-2?
They beat them head-to-head, I think.
They've got both head-to-head games on you, so they're technically 3.5, 4 games ahead of you. The Titans need to win 7, 8 games for you to have a chance at the division. Do they do that? I don't know. Do they collapse that hard? We'll see. But I like the Colts. I'm not giving up on them yet.
Yeah, the Colts are a beneficiary of such a bad division, AFC South. I mean, they have the Texans and the Jaguars. It's a 2-team race. It's the Colts and the Titans. But the hard thing is, I mean, the Titans have the head-to-head matchups. As much as I love the Colts and as much as I think the Titans are going to be hurt with the loss of Derrick Henry, if I'm going to say hit it, that would mean I believe in this team to really make a postseason run.
I think a wild card team. And I think a team that could win the division if Tennessee collapses. But that's so many ifs.
It's a lot of ifs for me to say
I'm not ready to just give up on them, though. I think they're a damn good football team, and they showed they can control the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
Fair?
Oh, we'll say hit it. Adam, we're hitting this one. Okay. All right?
Can we stop? Can we end this segment, please? Before we get pulled off? I'm going to get fired after this. I'm going to get pulled into a boardroom meeting, and I'm going to, like, guys, what are you doing to me? God dang it.
I mean, we do have the Week 8 playoff in a picture. Shout out to the NFL for that one. So we can pull that up really fast. West C, thank you. The Titans and the Packers leading the way so far in the playoff picture. Do you boys have any thoughts on this? Some of the teams we mentioned are in there.
I think by the end of the season, the AFC looks completely different. The NFC is roughly the same.
Yeah.
Except the 1 seed is up for grabs between, I think, the Cardinals, Rams, and the Packers. The Packers don't have Aaron Rodgers. They'll be dealing with Jordan Love for the next game. Maybe 2. We'll have to wait and see. I think the AFC wildcard, expect the Raiders not to be there. I like the rest of the teams. 3 AFC North teams is going to be tough. We'll have to wait and see. They all play each other more still throughout the year. Yep. I like the Bills to maybe move up to a 2 seed, but come by the end of the year. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think the AFC, it's going to look completely different. Expect New England probably to make a wild card push.
Yeah.
That I would put my money on. And then the NFC, I think that's what it's going to look like. Oh, are the Panthers in the wild card race?
They're hanging in there.
Oh, excuse me. Matt Rule sucks. Let me come out and say that. I owe everybody an apology on Twitter. Matt Rule sucks. You freaking idiots. No idea. And then they're going to tell me Dan Campbell deserves more time.
That guy's making chicken soup out of chicken, you know what. And you know what? The AFC, it's going to change. It ain't going to stay the same. The Titans aren't going to be the 1 seed.
Playing with backups.
But still.
Best running back unavailable. Receivers in and out of the lineup with injuries. DJ Moore really your only target. No real tight ends.
But a great defense. I will give him that.
A defense with a ton of injuries.
Also
First 3 games, they were a top defense, and they got hurt, and now they've just struggled since. But they're still a comparable defense, yes. I like Carolina. I'm happy for Matt Rule.
Yeah, I think, listen, the AFC is going to be very different. I think there's other teams. AFC, I don't think there's going to be as many teams.
Patriots are sneaking in there.
The Patriots are a good team.
I think honestly, I'd be scared as hell if I'm an AFC team hosting a home game against New England in the wild card round.
Hell yeah.
Mac Jones just doesn't make mistakes.
Look, he's a veteran already.
He's already a veteran. Now, what his ceiling is, I don't know. But this has Tom Brady 01 written all over it. It's so weird. They don't do anything special, but they beat you.
Relentless.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I heard, what was his name? Bill Simmons talk about this, like with the Patriots. And I was like, you know what? His dude's onto something. Like, I kind of like New England coming in as a wild card and being a problem for teams, but we got to hit the break. When we come back, we're going to go over all the games on Sunday. I'm so excited for this. This is one of my favorite things to do every Friday.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, all of that. Coming up next, we've got our Sunday slate. Remember, the Lions are on a bye, so we get the week off talking about them. All right, before we go to break, our friends at Lady Jane's.
Well, listen, Lady Jane's, I know a lot of you guys watching this probably need a haircut, and I have a spot for you. Lady Jane's, location near you, tons of locations. They're open 7 days a week, open 10 to 8. All you got to do is you walk in through the front doors, you sign in, you sit down in one of these comfy chairs, get to watch all your favorite sports teams on SportsCenter, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because they are wicked awesome.
Okay, you thirsty little
spin, goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Morning Woodward Show. As promised, we've got our Sunday slate for you guys. We're going to start off with the Broncos taking on the Cowboys. Jeff, your thoughts?
Well, it's going to be a lot of good games this week, but that's one of the games where you can pretty convincingly, say that I think the Cowboys get it done. They are on the road, I believe. It doesn't let me load it up, but either way, I think the Cowboys, they'll have Dak Prescott back this week. Obviously, you saw what Kellen Moore was able to do with Cooper Rush, Central Michigan's product, and get a win over a tough Minnesota Vikings team. But this week, they take on the Denver Broncos, a Broncos team that struggled to really move the ball with or without Teddy Bridgewater. It's regardless. And I think the Cowboys, this is one of those games that you got to get it done. You got to get a win here. You're able to come on the road and sneak one out last week against the Vikings, and now you have the Broncos. You're welcoming them at home. This is an opportunity for Trayvon Diggs to kind of get that interception streak back on track. He didn't have one last game, but I think the Cowboys get it done at him, maybe even convincingly.
I am going to roll with the Cowboys to win this game, of course, but I think it's going to be closer than we expect. Denver are a very stingy defense. I think they're going to pose problems. Is Dak back officially? Likely, yes. Is he going to be rusty his first game back? We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to call a close football game here. I'm going to go 24-20 Dallas Cowboys. Look, Dallas are one of the best teams in the NFC, and they look so good. They really do. They've got the weapons. They've got playmakers at every position you could ask for. They have the O-line. They have Gregory on the D-line, Parsons at the linebacking core, Trayvon Diggs in the secondary. They've got a playmaker everywhere. In the backfield, they got two, and the wide receiver position, they've got two. Dallas are a pretty complete team. Yep. So I'm going to like them this weekend, Kennedy.
All right, I like them too. Coming up next, an in-state game. Browns taking on the Bengals.
This can be a good game, especially for the state of Ohio. You got two teams squaring off, pretty good teams, but the Browns have been underperforming this year. They've been trying to really get their legs under them and just start getting a couple of good games, a string of good games together. They had a good start to the season and just kind of fell apart. And you're taking out a Cincinnati Bengals team that's shown they can be vulnerable. They threw the lead against the Jets. Mike White threw for 400 yards. If Baker Mayfield's going to have a bounce-back game without Odell, it's this game right here, baby. And it's to show him and show Odell Beckham Sr. why you don't miss him open all the time. Get some completions and stomp all over this Bengals team. But I think it'll be a close game. Honestly, I'm going to go with the Bengals. That's just me. It is in Cincinnati as well. I think the Bengals get it done. It's going to be close. I would say 27-20. I'll give them 7 points, but that's just my opinion. I think
this is a tough game
Bengals
to call.
Get it done.
7 points is too much to give Cincinnati against Cleveland. I'm looking at the head coaches, Kevin Stefanski, Zach Taylor. Give me Kevin Stefanski. I'm going to take the Browns on the points. That's going to be my call. I don't know who's going to win this game. I know it's going to be very close, though. It could go either way. It could be a 28-27 ball game. This has like a really good game written all over it. I like the Browns. I like the Browns. I think 7 points is too much. Even if Case Keenum plays, I think Kevin Stefanski is going to find a way to keep his team in the ball game. I think they're going to limit Jamar Chase. They're not going to let him beat him over the top. So Joe Burrow is going to have to settle for what's underneath, and we'll see if he's able to do that. And if he forces some throws, well, that's where turnovers happen. So we'll have to wait and see. But I like this game. I think it's a good matchup. Give me the Browns on the points.
I like it. All right, coming up next, Packers taking on the Chiefs. Remember, they will not have Aaron Rodgers this week. We'll be seeing Jordan Love. So, Adam, who do you got?
It's the easiest game to call of the weekend. I love Matt LaFleur. I think he's done an exceptional job as a head coach in the NFL since taking over the Green Bay Packers. Having said that, I don't think he can overcome this battle unless Jordan Love comes out and really plays spectacular, which I don't see happening. Now, it's not like he's a rookie. The kid's been behind the scenes learning for over a year now. So if he comes out and puts out an egg, I mean, you kind of know, like, all right, this kid doesn't have it. But if he comes out and plays kind of well, I think the Packers can stay in it. I don't think the Chiefs are that much better. So I am going to roll with the Packers to cover the spread. I think the Chiefs do walk away with the win, but Packers make it a close game. I don't think this is going to be a blowout as people see. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to pull away, and I trust Matt LaFleur to get the offense rolling, even with Jordan Love at quarterback.
It's hard because I can't say I trust Matt. I mean, a majority of these games is with, what is he, the fastest head coach to win 80% of his first 30, 40 games. I think that has to do a lot with Aaron Rodgers. And we'll see. This is a good chance. You have your guy you took in the first round, and he'll be starting against. We just got done going over the Kansas City Chiefs and how bad their defense is. No excuse. I think this is a good game for him to kind of show what they have behind Aaron Rodgers. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs get it done. I don't think it'll be close. I think the Green Bay Packers might score some points, but I think the Chiefs get a win here and move on to 5-4. Maybe you could say it's 7 points, 10 points. I don't think it'll be a field goal close, but we'll see. I think the Chiefs win this one, though. We both agree.
Okay, now we've got the Cardinals taking on the 49ers. I've got the Cards here, but Adam, who do you have and why?
All right, this is one of the toughest matchups for me of the weekend. Expect the Arizona Cardinals to lose a second straight game on the road in San Francisco. I think it's a tough game. San Francisco is going to be able to run as they please against, in my opinion. An Arizona Cardinals defense has really been inconsistent. They have great games, and they have really bad games, and they have okay games, and then really bad, and then really great. I never know what I'm getting from the defense. J.J. Watt now out for the year. I believe that happened last week, so that doesn't help them at all. I like San Francisco to pull off the upset. I'm going to go 24-23 San Francisco. I like it to be a very close game. I just think they're able to run the ball so effectively. Elijah Mitchell in the backfield, Deebo Samuel, big playmaker. George Kittle back, potentially. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but they expect him to play this week. I think that's going to really expand their offense. I like San Francisco this week to pull off the upset, give Arizona a loss.
I think I don't think so. In my opinion, I think Arizona, they beat the San Francisco. It is at home. It is in San Francisco. And you're right. Kittle might be returning. I have him on fantasy, so I'm crossing the fingers. But at the same time, I think the Arizona Cardinals, regardless if Kyler Murray, he suffered the knee injury, obviously, it's going to limit his mobility. We know how much Kyler Murray loves to run outside the pocket and make plays. But I think the Arizona Cardinals are motivated. They lost last week to a COVID-hit Packers team, and this is their chance to rebound. That defense, Arizona has a legit defense, top 5 in the league, and I think they're going to come out and absolutely take advantage of Jimmy G. And if they don't let Elijah Mitchell run all over him, I think it'll be more convincing than a lot of people think. So we'll see, though. It'll be interesting.
All right. Last game that we're going to cover, Titans taking on the Rams. I got to stick with the Rams. I love you, Matthew Stafford. All right, Adam, who do you got this week?
This is a tough game.
Yeah.
I think there's so many primetime games this week. I'm so excited to just sit on my couch and do nothing on Sunday. Sunday Night Football, Titans, Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams. Titans, look, they lost Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
it's open. It's hunting season for Jalen Ramsey. Aaron Donald. You got to drop back 35 times if you're the Titans on Sunday Night Football, and that's not your formula to win football games. It just isn't. I like the Los Angeles Rams to cover. I think they're 6.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
So I'll take the Rams to cover. I like it. Give me the Rams all day. I think they win this game handily. I think Ryan Tannehill struggles first game without Derrick Henry. I think he'll pick it up as the season goes on. But this game, I think he's going to commit multiple turnovers. Give me the Rams all day. I love this.
Yeah, I think the Rams win convincingly, to your point. I mean, Derrick Henry's this team's it's the core of the team, and he's out arguably the whole season, may return in the playoffs. I was reading an article, but regardless, I mean, you can have Adrian Peterson and Jeremy Nichols. It ain't going to help. I think the Rams, Aaron Donald, Von Miller might be playing. You got Jalen Ramsey in the secondary. It's going to be problems for Ryan Tannehill. He's going to be under a lot of duress. He's going to have to make a lot of plays with his legs, which we've seen Ryan Tannehill do before. But no, I think the Rams win this convincingly. The Titans drop to 6-3. For a score prediction, I'll say 34-14, 34-17. It's going to be more than 2 scores. I think the Rams get it done.
All right, we have a few minutes left, and you guys know I love to stir the pot with Adam a little bit. So, Adam, I got to ask you, you sent quite an aggressive message yesterday concerning Scottie Pippen. He's gone off about MJ. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want you to go off. We've got 3 minutes.
I can't swear on air. I can't. So what I said in the chat.
we do have a swear jar in the back if you'd like to donate. Sorry, Justin.
All right,
in
guys.
advance.
You know the word we all use to describe a female dog? That is exactly what Scottie Pippen is.
You can say that on the air.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
Really?
Bitch is allowed.
Really?
Really.
And I can't say the S word?
Yes.
What?
Correct.
How does this make any sense?
You can call him it.
All right, Scottie Pippen, you are the biggest bitch I've ever met in my life. This dude is unbelievable. I am so glad Future hit up your wife. You had it coming, bro. You are the most insecure person I've ever hit. I'm not done.
Okay, explain,
Scottie
please.
Pippen had it coming. I don't care. I'm glad his wife cheated on him. This dude is so unbelievable. He's the most annoying person I've ever met in my life. Unbelievable. He doesn't shut the hell up.
Then say what he did.
He doesn't shut the hell up.
Say it. What happened? What happened that hurted your feelings?
His feelings are, his panties are all up in a bunch because he was portrayed as, not an alpha, the guy that was really down on the team in The Last Dance. Well, that's what happened, bro. That's what happened. You were a little diva. You were nothing without Michael Jordan. Everybody knows that. And Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan before you ever arrived. Was he Michael Jordan with the rings?
He didn't start winning until Scottie arrived.
But he was Michael goddamn Jordan before. He was already a Hall of Famer before you ever showed up.
He wasn't winning.
He wasn't winning, to be fair, yes, but he wasn't winning before Phil Jackson showed up either. Phil Jackson helped this team really take that next level. I'm not discrediting Scottie Pippen as a basketball player.
Just watch though when you're okay. There you go.
No. He is a bitch.
Okay.
He's a bona fide bitch. And I'm glad Future hit up his wife. I really am. This dude deserves nothing but the worst comments in his Twitter feed all day for the rest of his life. He is so goddamn annoying. He didn't shut the hell up. He didn't stop complaining. Michael Jordan put out the Last Dance documentary because he's afraid of LeBron. Shut the hell up. The dude is 6-0 in the finals. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year, multiple MVPs, 6-time Finals MVP. Shut the hell up. Jordan's got an ego, yeah, but he's not scared of anybody. He's on Mount Rushmore, and LeBron James is up there with him. Don't get me wrong. That's not where I'm going with this. But shut the hell up, Scottie Pippen. You're not even in my top 50. Shut the hell up.
But I think it's not.
I would take Darko Milicic over your ass. Shut the hell up.
Michael, we're talking about a guy in Michael Jordan who, at his Hall of Fame speech, called out, "This is what you thought of me. This is what you thought of me." Like, this guy has an ego, a big one. I think The Last Dance, it isn't just because he felt like releasing a Last Dance. There's a meaning behind that. He dropped that at a perfect time when the LeBron conversations were at an all-time high, and I still disagree. I think, listen, Scottie Pippen, you call him a bitch, but he's rightfully pissed off, in my opinion.
Not. He's the one who decided to get out of the playoff game.
No.
He's the one that in the 2 years that MJ was gone, all he did was nothing.
But can I ask you this?
And then MJ comes back, they're champions again. What a surprise.
Why was Scottie Pippen not be... Okay, he wasn't able to
take... He was a failure in Portland. He was a failure in Houston after.
I understand. When he was older. But let me explain this to you.
He was almost in his early 30s.
Let me explain to you. Let me explain. Early 30s. That's, I mean...
He was 31 years old when he left the Bulls.
That's your prime in the NBA. Like, that's towards the back end of your prime.
You know what Jordan was doing at 30-31?
That's the greatest player of all time. So we're comparing...
Then Scottie Pippen should shut the hell up and stop complaining.
My question...
Because he's not that.
You got to let me finish my point. Okay,
I don't know where you're going with it.
Because you're interrupting me.
It's not that I'm interrupting you.
Please
You're telling me one side of Scottie Pippen, and then you're telling me another thing.
Let me talk.
What you want to say then?
I can't
Make your point then. Make your point.
How can I talk if you're talking over me?
I'm not talking over you. You're telling me 3 different things about Scottie Pippen.
You're talking as I'm talking.
All right, Adam, shut up.
I will shut up, but make your damn point.
Shh.
Oh my goodness,
Jeff.
you guys are babies.
Jeff, go.
Okay, just want to make sure there's silence. Okay, Scottie Pippen. You know why he's pissed off?
Why?
Why was in the Last Dance documentary? Jordan wasn't a part of the team, correct?
He was out for the 2 years when he left baseball. Yeah.
Why was that in the documentary? The parts of Scottie Pippen, the lows of Scottie Pippen, the dumb shit he did.
Because,
excuse me.
To be honest,
why?
You want the truth?
Yes. Well, it was unnecessary.
No, it wasn't. It tells a story.
It tells a story.
Is that what happened? Yes or no?
It happened, but it's about MJ.
I'm asking you. But I'm going to give you your answer because I know where you're going with it. But answer this. Is that what happened when Michael wasn't there? Was that what happened? Yes or no?
What?
That's what happened. What was reported in the Last Dance documentary?
Yes.
About Pippen, those 2 years. Was it accurate? Yes or no?
It was accurate, but it had nothing to do with Michael Jordan. Why was it in the documentary?
It elevates Michael Jordan and what he did.
Makes him look better.
Of course.
So
But that's
talk about
what
ego.
But that's what happened. Scottie Pippen. Dude, it's Scottie Pippen. I can't. Scottie Pippen's the same dude that told, I don't want Isaiah Thomas on the dream. Shut the hell up. Who the hell are you to say Isaiah can't be on the dream team, bro? Shut the hell up. You were a wing and D guy. That's what you were. You were an athletic defender. You were nothing more. You are a top 100 player. Congratulations, Scottie Pippen. You were a damn good defender. You were a damn good player. You could attack the paint. I'll give you all the credit in the world. Just shut the hell up. You are the biggest bitch I've ever met in my life. That's it.
All right.
You don't like that the 2 years of no MJ was brought up in the last dance?
Jordan
well, buddy, you should have done something more than sit out in the damn game. How about that? Oh, you know, my I wasn't feeling it. Shut the hell up. Shut up, Scottie Pippen. Unbelievable.
All right, Jeff, do you have a final rebuttal, or should I hit the break?
No, just let him.
All right, let's go to break. Why don't we? And that means we get to hear from our new friends over at Gypsy Vodka, which we should all take a shot of soon before we freak
Scottie
out.
Pippen needs not just a shot of a Gypsy Vodka. He needs a whole bottle a day. Dude doesn't shut the hell up. Our new sponsor, Gypsy Vodka. They sponsored, I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but we were out in East Lansing for the Michigan State game. Did a pregame broadcast. Absolutely awesome at the Hopcat. They sponsored it. The owners are both Michigan State alumni, so obviously they're very happy about the win on Saturday. They're twin brothers, Adam and Mike. Try a bottle today, and again, please drink responsibly. I can't stress that enough. Try Gypsy Vodka, and again, drink responsibly. We'll see you right after the break.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
All right, everybody, the moment you have all been waiting for. The matchup of the literal century. Adam and Jeff taking on each other in fantasy this week. Chat, we need your help during this segment. The boys are going to rattle off their team, and we want you to vote on who you think is winning this week. The boys are getting their phones out.
Should we go position by position
yes,
matchup?
Please.
Yes.
All right, so let's start at quarterback. Jeff, I am my quarterback is Josh Allen this week, guys. So I've got Josh Allen. I don't think Jeff has a chance. But to be fair, he does have Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's been a baller this year. 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Chat, who do you guys take? Josh Allen against Jacksonville on the road, or Matthew Stafford at home against Tennessee?
It's tough.
Stafford's back is hurting right now.
It's
he
definitely,
hasn't been practicing.
I think Josh Allen, you have this
Sore
one.
back.
You definitely have this week for the quarterback.
Josh Allen gives me the 6-point rushing touchdown ability, so I'm going with Josh Allen. I think we both agree. I'm curious what the chat says. Running backs, now it gets complicated. Jeff's got Austin Eckler. That dude is a beast. A top 3 PPR back in the league.
He's balling
right now. He's balling. But I got Najee. But Najee is not putting up the numbers Austin Eckler, to be fair, is putting up. So I gotta give Jeff the check mark at the running back position. The next one is tricky. Josh Jacobs, who's been in and out of the lineup all year, versus Carlos Hyde, who I think will be starting over James Robinson if he's injured.
It just depends. Will Jacksonville go down early? And will they continue running the ball? That's the question. But you do have...
here's where I kill you, in my opinion. I think the next 3 I got you good.
Yeah.
Because I have deep threat ability. I have Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, and Mike Gesicki. You've got Devontae Adams, really good option, but Jordan Love playing.
Yeah, no
Adam
Ridley.
Thielen against Baltimore, good luck. And Mark Andrews against Minnesota, which I actually like that matchup. But I think me and Jeff's game is going to be close. Right now, it's projected at 50-50, guys. Just so you all know, he's projected at 128. I'm projected at 129.7. This is going to be an insane game. I'm so excited for it.
But the biggest thing
whose wide receiving core are you taking? That's what I want from the chat. Are you taking my CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, or are you taking Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen? I'm really curious.
Well, it's tough. I don't have Calvin Ridley. Obviously, he's on an MIA. He's gone, personal reasons. But you know what? Adam Thielen, I'm hoping he can fill that spot for me. Usually he's my flex. But the biggest thing for me, Adam, is you got New England's defense against Carolina, and I have Indiana's against the Jets.
And they gave you a donut.
And they laid an egg. They laid an egg. They laid a complete egg. So you know what? My chances right now, if your defense just gets you 5 to 10 points, Man, you're going to have it.
Well, that's a jump start there, but let's go to the flex. I think you're getting Devontae Booker, who's starting this week for New York. Saquon out with COVID. So there's that. That's a full-time flex player, but it's going against my pick, Rashad Bateman. So I think Rashad Bateman has a game. That's what I think.
Bateman's like a streaky guy. Like, he could honestly...
He's come back. He's gotten the target. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. And then have kickers, of course. It's Graham Gano versus Tyler Bass.
You're going to be kicking a lot of extra points.
I know.
So, and I might be kicking a lot of field goals. Listen, it's going to be close. This is the matchup of the league. If you look at the rankings,
I'm 7-1. You're 6-2. Correct.
6-2. Both top of our division. The next person under both of us, mine is 500. Easy 4-4.
Jeff has scored 1,115 points. I've scored 1,105 points. Only a 10-point difference.
Jesus Christ.
It's unbelievable. That's really close.
We got to have
like
the loser has to wear a golf jersey or something in here.
Oh, don't do that to me, bro. Are you serious?
We should put something on it.
Okay, you know what? I'm willing to do that. But it's got to be something funnier. Outside of a golf jersey. What could we do? Pie to the face on Monday?
Pie in the face?
Pie to the face.
Okay, I like it.
I'll take it.
On air. Pie to the face.
I'll do a pie to the face. I don't even care.
All right, who's bringing the pie? Fish?
I'll just bring
Fish?
a whipped cream and
Fish?
a little...
yeah, you just put whipped cream in a tin.
Oh, okay. Get the tin and fill it with whipped cream. Okay?
Okay.
All
right.
This Monday?
This Monday, yep.
Okay.
Make sure you bring it.
Wait, no one has anyone on Monday Night Football.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it could.
Well, it does.
Will be decided by then.
It does.
No. Our game will be decided by then. I don't think either of us have a Monday Night Football game. Let me check.
Okay. Because I wouldn't want to, because it's going to be close. So maybe if there was a Monday night player,
I have Najee Harris on Monday night.
All right, Tuesday.
We might have to wait till
Tuesday.
Hear me out. Jeff doesn't. So technically, I could still win with Najee Harris not even playing.
Update
depending
us
on
Sunday
how it goes.
night.
So you should still bring it. The tin with whipped cream, just in case.
If it's like tied, you have Najee playing.
But if it's tied or he's only down 5 points, he's getting a pie to the face.
So that what I'm doing? I'm just doing a tin and filling the whole thing just with 89 ounces of whipped cream?
Look, he's getting a pie to the face. And for any reason that I don't win on Monday night, well, then I can get a pie to the face on Tuesday.
I hate that fact that you have a Monday night matchup because those always go in, and not in my favor. Like, I always go, it'll be a tied game before
Chicago,
Monday. Dude, I know, but it'll be a tied game going into Monday or some crap like that. And
I'm excited. This is going to be a really good matchup, but there's other matchups in the league. There's a TD that works here, technical director for the Bottom Line. Michigan State fan, middle fingers up to him. Alex Mayer, the guy who offers the worst trades in the league. Mr. Mayer himself is playing against the Morning Woodward Show's very own Kennedy freaking Broadwell.
Woo!
Can we get a clap for Broadwell, please? Everybody in the chat.
Do you have my team pulled up? Do you have it pulled up?
I do have your team pulled up. All right, so guys, here's the matchup this week for Kennedy. She
By the way,
projected
Alex
to win.
Mayer is going to
She is projected
Buffalo.
to win right now. Alex Mayer is starting Kirk Cousins, Alvin Kamara, Cordell Patterson, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Frymuth from Pittsburgh at tight end, and Darnell Mooney, who sucks. Dallas defense, Matt Gay as the kicker. And then Kennedy's team, I love it. Patty Mahomes, Nick Chubb, Chase Edmonds, Marvin Jones, Deebo Samuel, Evan Ingram, T. Higgins, Rams defense, and Matt freaking Prater.
Let's go, Prater.
I think Kennedy pulls this off. I'm rooting for Kennedy. I have money on Kennedy. I made a side bet with Alex Mayer.
No, you didn't.
$20 if
of course
he
you did.
beats you.
That doesn't surprise me.
Why did you do that? Now
Because I have full faith in you.
Okay.
I think you pull it off this week.
I think so too.
But there's somebody that wants some love. Do we give him some love?
I think we do.
I think you should lead this.
J-Dog and Fish, they share a team. The Herbie's Heroes, Justin originally wanted to put everyone on the team that was named Justin or Sam.
He could have done that. He should have done that.
No, I don't think he could have pulled that one off. But Adam, do you have their matchup? Who do you guys play? Ben Sasson this week?
Yes, ma'am.
One of our old. Well, I think he still works for us, but he was an intern in person.
Yeah, he's still doing stuff.
Yeah, I know, but online, so they don't know who Ben is. But Justin.
Way to
and
throw
Fish.
him out like that.
Well,
Kennedy.
no, if you read his articles, they're great. Maybe you do know who he is. Look at our website. Check out Ben's articles. I'll plug him that way.
It doesn't matter because Fish and Justin won this football game.
Yeah, because they stole Keenan Allen from me.
Well,
nice.
You're an idiot. But that's not the point. The point is, Ben Sasson started Mike White, who finished with 7 points, and Michael Carter, who finished with 9.6.
Yeah, he's already got 2 players done.
And Justin had Michael Pittman, who had the same amount of points as those two combined. Justin's winning this game. He's projected
Justin and Fish are winning this game.
I know. I always see Justin because of Justin Herbert. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. It's how I'm reading it. But, yeah, no, Fish and Justin's team, they started 0-3, chat. They started 0-3.
I say we. It's all Justin.
And now they are 5-3. And about to be 6-3.
Which is crazy
because awesome.
Week 1 I played this team and absolutely murdered them, like bloodbath. Yep. And now they have a better record than me.
Yeah, 5 in a row off the bounce. I'll teach you something.
Craziness. But anyway, congrats, Fish and Justin.
Thank you.
Justin finessed the league.
He really did.
He traded Calvin Ridley week 2 for Keenan Allen. Poor Jeff.
Dude, I'm sitting over here going, cooking in the pot. I got a number 1 wide receiver, Calvin Ridley, who was eating with Julio Jones on his team. Now he's got Kyle Pitts. I thought he'd kind of eat similarly. No, Keenan Allen. I got. And you know what? Fish and Justin have proved they're better GMs than Bob Quinn because they got me. They got me, guys. They got me.
That was all Justin. Shout out to Justin Slanek.
Well, that's our Woodward Sports Fantasy Football preview.
I want to ask you this, though.
Go ahead.
Oh, boy.
Alex Mayer was supposed to have, thank you, Fish, was supposed to have Aaron Rodgers at QB. He now has Kirk Cousins. He's taking on the Ravens. Do you still think I'm fine? Because I'm projected to win, but Alex hasn't updated his quarterback yet to Kirk Cousins, and I'm still only projected to win by like 2 points. That's what's making me nervous. Kirk cannot play well this week.
The close ones are going to hurt. Like I don't want to be in the situation where I'm waiting for a Monday night game. That's the worst. Like when you're tied or down, let's say 15, and I got to wait for Adam to play his guy to absolutely win or not. Fantasy is going to make me pull out my hair. I'm going to be wearing a bald cap Monday, and when I get that freaking pie in my face. But God, fantasy, man, it gets competitive here. It gets competitive at work. Everyone's at each other's throats. You know, meet Adam Mark Friends this week. I don't know him. I don't know who he is. He's my enemy.
Adam, your thoughts?
Look, I have zero respect for Jeff when it comes to fantasy football. If I saw him out in the streets and he was up on me in points, I would
punch him.
I would pull over and I would beat him up. I would take the bat out of my car and I would jump Jeff. Absolutely. Jeff, you're my enemy this week. I love working with you on the mornings, but I promise you Sunday.
That goes out the window.
That goes out the window. If I see you on Sunday, watch your back. All right? I'm being serious.
I'm so glad we have a bye week.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare come anywhere near me on Sunday. Because I promise you, if I have to walk in on Monday and you're winning, we're going to have to rearrange the show. You might be an intern. After Sunday, all right?
If I beat you, I'm unemployed. Okay, you know what? All right, you know what? You might take it.
I'm basically asking you to bench Devontae Adams. And,
it might come down to that.
No, it'll be a good game, though, jokes aside. We got to go to break. When we get back, midseason, it's a 17-game schedule now, so technically there's no midseason anymore, but
as close as we could get.
As close as we can get. 8 games in. I'm excited. Regular season awards to give out. Let's do it after the break, Kennedy.
Let's do it.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today on the Morning Woodward Show. All right, we have our regular season awards midway through the season, as close as we could get right here after week 8. We're going to start with MVP. Jeff, you two are both on your phones obsessing over fantasy still, but you're MVP, Jeff.
MVP this year, right now, midseason, it's Matthew Stafford. I mean, the guy, one loss on his record, and it's to a very talented, good team in the Arizona Cardinals. But let's be honest, when they rematch later in the year, I think Matthew Stafford, they get a win back. And listen, he's been performing. You see his QBR. It's the best QBR in the league, the best of his career by far. and what he's been able to do for this Rams team, who last year was still a good football team, but Matthew Stafford just takes them over the top. I mean, if you want to talk about most valuable player, in my opinion, it's Matthew Stafford, and maybe the guys that are falling behind him are, the Dak Prescotts of the world, maybe the even Aaron Rodgers of the world, but no, it's Matthew Stafford by a long shot. I got him winning. He's my MVP.
Stafford, the clear front runner for MVP right now. 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, leads the league in quarterback rating, passer rating.
Yep.
Highest QBR in the league. He leads everything across the board for quarterbacks. He's playing unbelievable. He's the MVP front runner, and more importantly, he does have the narrative going in his favor. Leaving Detroit, coming to LA, all of this suddenly coming together. Dude's on pace for 50 touchdowns. I'm all for it. I got to give him the MVP 8 games in. Offensive Player of the Year, for me, easy decision. The guy who is the first wide receiver in the Super Bowl era to put up the numbers he is putting up, and that is the Cooper freaking Kupp. All you fantasy owners out there, I'm sure you're happy. Cooper Kupp, my Offensive Player of the Year. A close second, though. A close second would be, right now, to be fair to him, a Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase having a great year, but for me, Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year, not even close.
Yeah, I have Cooper Kupp as well. I mean, he's been, no doubt, the Offensive Player of the Year. I would get Dak Prescott, maybe Comeback Player of the Year, but no doubt, Cooper Kupp's on track to be in the realm of Calvin Johnson records. That's a guy you need to give praise to, and he deserves to be Offensive Player of the Year. For Defensive Player of the Year, I got Myles Garrett, and you know what? That might be just. I've been on the Trayvon Diggs train for a while, and as much as the interceptions are huge, Myles Garrett's on pace to have well over 20 sacks. I mean, he has a 10.5 right now through 8 games, and he's been on an absolute tear. And by the end of the season, he's going to be upwards of 20 to 20. He might even break the record for sacks. I mean, this guy's a beast. So I'm going to go Myles Garrett just to switch it up. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is the obvious one. He's a playmaker. He's leading the league in interceptions, but don't sleep on Myles Garrett because he'll be in the conversation when the year ends. So Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Myles Garrett. That's my opinion.
All right, Defensive Player of the Year right now, it's tough to argue against Myles Garrett, but I'm going to go with TJ Watt.
Okay.
TJ Watt's been making some plays. I know everybody wanted him to win it last year. It was Aaron Donald's award, and I think this year TJ Watt proving it once again. He's one of the best players in the NFL. He deserves it. I'm going to go with TJ Watt so far. I got to give him the award. Myles Garrett, to be fair, 4.5 sacks came in 1 game. TJ Watt from week 1 till now has been very consistent, only missed 1 game through injury. Give me TJ Watt for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't think there's an argument to be made here. Jamar Chase.
Mr. Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase is a clear number 1. Unless he slows down, maybe Mac Jones and Najee Harris are a good second and third, but I got to go Jamar Chase. I don't think it's close, Jeff.
No, I agree with you. Jamar Chase, honestly, second. I would go Najee Harris. I think he's been spectacular, but in terms of production, it's Jamar Chase. You saw what he's able to do is receiving touchdowns. He's had pretty much 1 touchdown in every game so far this season. The guy finds a way in the end zone. That's a deserving candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Micah Parsons, teammate of Trayvon Diggs on that squad. I think he's been spectacular this year out of all the defensive players. I just think, he's done so much. They got rid of Jalen Smith. He's been basically the Jalen Smith replacement, even better. He sideline to sideline tackler, gets after the quarterback. He can play in coverage. He's just an all-around animal. I mean, he runs like a 4.3 speed. So I'm going to go Micah Parsons, man. He's been impressive.
Yeah, Michael Parsons, I mean, he just looks like a completely different player when you watch him on Sundays. Dude's one of the best linebackers in the NFL right now.
Already, man.
Already, spectacular talent. Penn State knows definitely how to produce linebackers. I mean, everyone talks about Iowa, tight end university. Penn State's produced some pretty good linebackers over the years. Yeah, he's a clear and obvious one. I mean, you want to maybe make an argument for Patrick Surtain. He's had a really good year, solid shutdown corner right now out in Denver. But it's Micah Parsons. I said it correctly?
Yes.
Correct?
Good
Micah.
job, Adam. Woo!
Finally.
Micah, not Mika.
Micah Parsons. And then Comeback Player of the Year, I think we both agree it can only go to one person, Dak Prescott, if he plays the rest of the year.
Yep.
And then Head Coach of the Year, I'm actually interested into who you're going to say. Who's your Coach of the Year so far?
So far, I'm going to give it to somebody. There's 2 guys, really, that I believe should get it. You could say Mark McCarthy. Mark McCarthy took the Cowboys, and they're now 6-1. They have 1 loss. But I think his assistants, his coordinators, take that kind of the credibility away from him. I would go Staley or Cliff Kingsbury, and in my opinion, right now I'm going Cliff Kingsbury, just because the amount of flack the Arizona Cardinals got for hiring Cliff Kingsbury. He was barely 500 at Texas Tech, comes out of the Arizona Cardinals, and this year he's 7-1. His only loss is to Aaron Rodgers, and you can say what you want about that and missing Devontae Adams, but I think you got to give credit where it's due. In my opinion, I think he's done a fantastic job with this team, and this is one of those guys where you're not going to look at his offensive assistants or his coordinators and say that's the reason for their success. I think it has a lot to do with Cliff Kingsbury in the chemistry between him and Kyler. So I'll just go out on a limb. I'll say Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay. I think Cliff Kingsbury does deserve it. 7-1 start. They've looked really good. But there's a guy out who hasn't won Coach of the Year yet that has done a damn good job, and I think he needs to be getting a little bit more love. And it's two people, actually. Doug McDermott out in Buffalo and Matt LaFleur out in Green Bay. I think they need to get more love than what they're getting. But right now, the obvious choice is Cliff Kingsbury starting off 7-1. But we are joined by a very special person in studio. It's not in the studio often, so glad to have him. The Woodward Sports Detroit Lions beat reporter Corey.
What it do,
Woods.
Corey?
How are you, Corey?
What up, though? What up?
All right, what do you got for us?
I mean, I know you guys have been talking about it all morning, off and on.
I have breaking news for you.
Are you talking about what am I talking about?
No.
Uh-oh.
I have something before. I wanted your opinion before you give us breaking news.
Okay.
I sat up here and said, Scottie Pippen's the biggest bitch I've ever met in my life. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Did Scottie deserve what he got? I sat up here and I said, he had it coming. I'm glad Future hit his wife. Do you agree?
Come on,
Admit
bro.
it.
Come on, Corey. Don't do that.
Corey?
I will say this. I won't go that far. I'll say this. Scottie gets every negative criticism that's going to come his way. He deserves it. He deserves it. I mean, because here's the thing about this, not to go too long on that. It's not, when you go back and you really watch The Last Dance, Michael Jordan didn't say anything that was not true about Scottie Pippen. I lived it. It was all factual. They just said what happened.
He sat out those games.
He sat out those games. He's the one who got the surgery.
Yep.
But Corey, can we
He's the
agree?
one who avoided getting the surgery and then got it late.
Here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about Scottie. Scottie wants to be recognized as Batman when you're fucking Robin. You're Robin. You're not Superman, and you're not even Batman. You're Robin.
I feel you on that. He's not Batman, but I will say this: it was produced by Michael Jordan, the documentary, and I feel like some of those scenes. Listen, I'm not going to say anything. It's The Last Dance. We're talking about Michael Jordan, and you're going to cover years where he wasn't even on the team, and I feel like it was a shot at Scottie Pippen.
It tells a story. I took 2 years off. I came
and
back.
here's what my teammate was doing while I was taking 2 years off.
Here's what my teammate was doing.
He went as
they
far.
did him dirty.
He took him as far as he could go. You're the one who bitched about Kukoc getting the last shot. And what happened? Kukoc drilled that bitch.
He did. So I'm not saying he's wrong, but listen, I ain't gonna sit here and say MJ don't know how to make people look bad. I know what he was doing. All right, I know what he was doing. But Scottie Pippen does deserve a lot of criticism.
He did say Pippen was his best teammate. I mean, I don't know what more credit.
He did say I would not have 6 championships without Pippen, but Pippen overlooked all of that for the maybe.
You decided to sit out that game. You decided not to get surgery on time so you could be ready for. That's your fault, bro.
What?
You did it. Sorry.
And you still got 6 rings and recognized as one of the 75 greatest.
You guys grew up watching cartoons. He's not Robin only. He's the child version of Robin. You know how you had the teenage Robin and Batman? He's the teenage Robin. He's not even Robin.
Honestly, Robin had no powers. Like, Robin was the sidekick of Batman, had no powers. I mean, you're acting like Scottie Pippen was just some scrub.
No, he wasn't a scrub. Scottie wasn't a scrub. Scottie is one of the greatest point forwards of all time. But here's the problem. He wants to be recognized like he's Michael Jordan. You're not.
He's a bitch.
You're not.
He's a bitch.
All right.
Steve Kerr has more signature moments as a Bull than you.
He's a bitch.
Thank you.
But I just don't agree with. There was times where Michael Jordan loves to take shots, baby. He does, and he's taking shots, plenty of them at Scottie Pippen. But are they deserving? I don't know. But
he has it coming. But Corey, what you got?
Well, as we all know, it's been talked about over the past couple of days. The Browns and Odell Beckham Jr. have finally come to an agreement. They've granted him his release. He's now on the waiver wire. The Detroit Lions have #1 priority in the waiver wire. I'm pretty much expecting that he's going to clear waivers. I know a lot of fans have been trying to get on me about some clickbait, but I mean, it was actually people were actually, I'm judging by the internet. I'm judging by social media. I'm trying to talk to the fans. There was a lot of chatter. Should the Lions try to get Deshaun Jackson? Should the Lions try to get Odell Beckham Jr.? So what did I do? I responded to that climate and said, no. It doesn't work out. It's not logical for any parties involved.
That's our guy, Corey.
I'm with you. Odell Beckham doesn't make sense for the Lions.
No.
It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing else to say. He doesn't fit in Detroit. How could he not fit in Cleveland? And he's going to come to a worse situation with a worse coaching staff, with a worse coordinator, with a worse quarterback, and he's going to do better.
Here's the logic. Why would Odell Beckham Jr. go from a quarterback who didn't want to get him the ball to a quarterback who can't get him the ball?
There you go. There you go. And if he ain't happy in Cleveland, he ain't going to be happy in the D. So it is what it is, baby.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning on the Morning Woodward Show. It's Friday. We're not going to see you till Monday. Have a great weekend.
Sir.
But don't forget, we're going to be live on Sunday for the Lions pregame show. Oh, wait. There's no pregame show this week. It's a bye week. What am I doing? You're dumb. All right. Well, anyways, have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy college football. Michigan State on Saturday, noon? And then Michigan at... Is it 12:30, 1 o'clock?
State's at 3:30 and Michigan's at 7:30.
No, it's a noon game.
It's not. It's 3:30.
All right, it's 3:30. Kennedy wasn't in her chair on time. I'm sorry. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Everyone but Scottie Pippen.